It's a gorgeous day in Orlando, Florida, sunny and a little windy at the USTA National Campus. Welcome everyone to the American Athletic Women's Tennis Championship. I'm Stacy Shefflin alongside Mark Bay. We're in for a treat. Our road to the finals was USF topping SMU. USF took a 4-2 win in a tight match. It was clinched at number 3 by Cardosa in 3 sets over Sharapova. They are the number 7 seed and the underdog, but they are going back to the finals. Tulsa, on the other hand, a pretty easy run through Cincinnati, 4-0. Their number 1 and number 2 doubles came through again, as they have all season. Coach Dean counts on them, and they plan to be there today against University of South Florida. And at number 6, a senior, Sean, who they have counted on relentlessly all season long, knows that her team is going back for the third straight year for the championship. Number 1 Tulsa will meet number 7 University of South Florida. You're watching the American Digital Network.
The University of South Florida is a regional powerhouse with global significance, leading advances that are changing the world. Now a leader among the nation's universities in research, healthcare, and just being cool. The place where young men and women train to become the best.
This is where the Bulls run.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
Welcome back, everyone, to the USTA National Campus in Orlando, Florida. Women's championship match for the American Athletic Conference Tennis. We are so happy to be here. We've got a great matchup between number 1 University of Tulsa and number 7 seed University of South Florida. I'm Stacy Shefflin alongside Mark Bay. These two teams know each other well, and I got to tell you, South Florida has lost numerous times to Tulsa. What, Mark, do they need to do in order to get back on top this time?
Well, it's going to be an interesting way to try to find 4 points, Stacy. I think doubles is going to be one. They've got an unbelievable contribution at number 1 singles, and number 6 singles is their former number 1. And actually, they had an injured player all season, just got back, and then this tournament had pink eye, and now she's back. So I think that really, those Cleric, Cortez, Chavez down at the end, number 1 singles and doubles is probably going to be their path to 4.
Well, it is a rematch from last year, but their path is completely different this season. Since coming into the conference in 2015, since coming in for 2015, Tulsa has won 2 championships, beaten them. They're confident, but South Florida feels like this is the first time they have their full lineup, and I think we are going to see a different thing today. Yeah,
that's why championships have to be played any given Saturday, right?
That's right. And Tulsa, what do we see in Tulsa?
Well, Tulsa, when I first started covering this 3 years ago, Tulsa was a bit of a bridesmaid, upsetting Houston. And then they sort of, after that, took on the role of the hunted in the conference, and they've dominated. They're solid from top to bottom. They're well coached with a very simple all-court forward mantra. And I think that they're poised here today to accept the challenge and try to get the job done.
Well, watching them warm up, the energy, you wouldn't know that it was a number 1 and number 7 seed. You would definitely think that they were 1 and 2. Let's take it down to Haley Outen, who has met with the coaches.
Haley Outen here, joined by USF head coach Christina Moros. Coach, what a finish for your team. After the season that you've had and the struggles that you've had this year, for your team as a 7 seed to advance to a back-to-back final in this tournament, what did you say to your team after that match?
I mean, they earned every bit of that win today. I mean, we've dealt with so much with injuries and sicknesses and things that we've had to deal with all year, and that's just an accumulation of being able to stay tough throughout the whole season, and it's great to see that hard work pay off.
This match was tied 2-2 there, and Juliana and Jessica were battling battling it out on 3 and 6. How were you managing that, just coaching both of them? I mean, it was going to come down to the end with everyone watching right here.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did what the players needed to do. I was just focusing on my court and what she needed to do, and my assistant was focusing on his court and what he needed to do, and we were able to get it done.
Headed back to the final. Didn't turn out your way last year, but you're going to meet Tulsa again. They've won 2 championships in a row, but you meet here. Third year for Tulsa, second year in a row for you guys. Is this kind of a redemption match, so to speak, for you?
I mean, obviously, we remember the match from last year, and and how bad that hurt to lose that match. But Tulsa's a great team. They're a team of veterans this year for sure, and we have that final under our belt from last year. So hopefully, we can handle the moment a little bit better tomorrow.
How do you think you match up with Tulsa? I mean, they have a very balanced lineup, and so do you all as well. No, not necessarily, any star players, any ranked players, so to speak, but a very balanced lineup. How do you think you match up against them?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both kind of a blue-collar team. We just find a way to get the work done without being flashy and competing really well. And, when 2 teams like that, you got to battle, and we'll see who comes out the winner.
Well, it should be a fun one tomorrow. Rest up. We'll see you out here. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Haley out in here with Tulsa head coach Dean Orford. Coach, congratulations on another win here in the semis, headed to your 3rd straight American Championship final. But let's talk about today's match. Another great win. What did you see from your team today?
The conditions are pretty tough with the wind and what have you, but I thought they handled it pretty well, actually. I think we've got to continue to improve as the tournament goes on, though. I think there's a lot of room for improvement almost in every position.
Heading into tomorrow, you're going to find out here who you face in a few minutes, either USF or SMU, 2 very, very talented teams. How do you prepare for playing either of them?
We know both teams relatively well, but for us, I like to focus on ourselves more than anything, and I think that's what we'll be dealing with overnight, is ourselves.
And heading into your 3rd straight American Championship, you've won the past 2 titles, and for the seniors on this year's team, I know many of the women out here are playing for them, and it's an exciting time here in the conference tournament, but do you think that kind of adds any different element of pressure, having won the past 2 and heading to a 3rd straight?
I don't think it's a pressure thing. I do think that it's very important for us, for the seniors, yes, to finish out with 3 in a row would be awesome, but also to keep the legacy and the culture going for our freshmen and the people coming in next year. It's really important for us.
All right, thanks a lot, Coach. Good luck tomorrow.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
The University of South Florida is a regional powerhouse with global significance, leading advances that are changing the world. Now a leader among the nation's universities in research, healthcare, and just being cool. The place where young men and women train to become the best.
This is where the Bulls run.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Welcome back to the American Athletic Women's Tennis Championship. Let's walk you through the tournament bracket that you can see. It was the Hurricanes and Bearcats yesterday, winning 4-0 for Tulsa and 4-2 for the USF Bulls. The ladies are about to take the doubles court. And, Mark, you can't talk about the doubles without talking about Moros, what she did for USF recently in their lineup.
Yeah, in this particular matchup, you have Coach Moros, who's been struggling with trying to find the right matchups and was focusing more on tennis. And she said to us in the interview, she just went on relationship and who's actually getting along well and found some teams that are clicking. So now this is a USF team that's a bit untested in terms of who's been playing with who. But the quality and the caliber yesterday was as high as I've seen of any team. So now, obviously, Tulsa's been pretty steady and formidable with their teams, maybe struggling a bit at 3. The doubles point has obviously been consistently won by the team that's won this entire tournament. There's only been one team that's turned it for the hard way. So the doubles point's really been successful, a successful point and a component to a victory for all these team matches, both on the men's and women's side. So I think today it may be the same.
All right, let's walk you through the lineup. On court number 1 for South Florida, we have Vera Besanova and Olga Martinez. Against Tulsa, Ksenia Laskatova and Mahita Dadaretti. At number 2 for South Florida, we have Cardoza and Cortez Chavez against Lena Bonchong and Matula. And on court 3 for USF, we have Clarish and Zanga against Okalova and Ploner. So when these two teams played last time, you know, the doubles matchup is so different. They don't really know what to expect. But Coach Dean was saying he really believes in his 1 and 2. So it'll be interesting to see what we see today. Starting out on court 1, serving right now for the University of South Florida is Besanova.
Serve was long.
Yesterday, this team was up 4-love in the first set and talked about being irritated by the other team's men's team cheering them on, and that sort of distracted them. And then they came back and finished it out, but not after having a 6-0 lead in the tiebreaker.
Yeah, it's a great dynamic to have the men and women playing in a conference tournament like this, the same venue. So having some support from fellow classmates, and obviously boys from the other team is positive. It also, I think, motivated Besanova to close out things with that match point forehand she ripped. So worked both ways for her, I think. Besanova's rather tall in stature. She tends to let her elbow drop a little low on the serve. So sometimes the first serve percentage can be a little up and down. But she has an amazing, quick partner in Olga Martinez that looks to move often.
So a 30-15 lead on court 1. See the wind taking that a little bit.
Yeah, and also being a little bit distracted by Augie Martinez looking to move. Augie, she's affectionately known as to her teammates. She's a quick, pesky, constantly looking for touches at the net. And you know, the entire Bull team, I feel, when they're the front person at the net, are looking to try to get involved and create a little bit of a distraction. I think that was the case in that last ground stroke that was missed.
Well, aggressive first play, and South Florida holds serve to go up 1-love.
And you can see her smiling. You know, again, doubles is a fun, it's an intense, critical part for this college match. It sets the tone. I like the concentration of serving and returning and net finishing that I think helps translate into the tennis product as well.
Well, Morris talked about today her message to the team was going to be relax. We have nothing to lose. Let's go out and play our best.
Our scoreboard is correct, but the scoreboards on the courts are not correct. Official.
did that for you. I did that on the talk back.
On court 2, Tulsa is up a break, 1-love, 15-all, serving. And on court 3, just to bring you up to date, USF is up 1-0, 15-love, serving.
Oh, it's unfortunate. She took a negative angle for that volley. The right idea in terms of thinking about trying to angle it, but she went backwards and lateral in the wrong direction. Also, with the way the court has been playing with Mother Nature, the wind is behind Liskova right now. So USF held with the wind at their back, and now Tulsa is serving with the wind at their back. And you can see that lob didn't go very far. Sat up, down to ready to pop the overhead and close it out. So being able to hold serve from this far side is a rather important statement that both teams are going to need to make. It will be probably much more difficult as the match goes on to hold from the other side. The irony of that is that you often start with your better servers, but now you're going to have the two weaker servers in this actual set having to serve against the wind.
And Martinez is a senior serving right now. It is the only all-senior team for USF. So they would definitely love to come away with a championship today to end their career.
Yeah, Martinez is a wonderful gal. She stopped by and had a nice interview with us yesterday and gave us a lot of insight. And just a great attitude, very upbeat. Talked a lot about, you know, the way the girls get along and how they're responding to the coaching and what this college experience is all about.
And we'll get to that later, but it is a 100% international team, and there is something that creates a camaraderie when the girls have to depend on each other.
And here she is with the serve and volley there. Down love 30 now, though. So I don't say that I'm against that play because she's actually competent at the net, but a little bit of a hole now at love 30.
Does it have to do with the wind, what you were talking about before? She's serving against the wind?
It's not a dramatic. I mean, the wind is out here. It's probably 11 miles an hour. It's not a situation where it's 25 miles an hour, but it can hold up the quality of her serve, put a little bit of quality on Donda Reddy's return. So, you know, that first volley became a little bit more difficult. So now I love 40. 4 break points for Tulsa.
For serve.
Nice job.
Great poach.
And that's always a sign of more advanced teams, well-coached teams, how they handle the ad side and particularly the high backhand volley poaches. That's a shot that in juniors, kids are going to shy away from, but at the collegiate level, going to have to take care of those balls if you want to hold.
$15.40.
Oh, goodness.
I'd like to get that back.
Lob didn't start out being very good. Got a little Mother Nature help. That's definitely an overhead that Bustanova should take care of. So there's the break there.
Yep.
And number 1, and now we have breaks, obviously, on
2 and 3.
On 2 and 3. Let's switch over to court number 3, possibly, maybe, and spend some time taking a look at
All right, maybe not. The coaches are talking to them. Tulsa coach, what's he saying to the team right now between these breaks about doubles and stepping up?
Here we are, court 3. Ploner's lefty serving.
playing with Okolova.
That's a great
And
poach.
that was Clarish returning, a sophomore for USF, playing with Zenga, who is also a sophomore. Score is USF is up 2-0.
And this is the team, you know, that
15-all.
Coach Orford was a little concerned about, and with good reason. Zenga, aggressive, looks for the ball.
Well, they're an all-freshman team, so something comes with experience, and he knows that.
Well, that's a big-time overhead there.
So 30-15.
Nice to have a lefty and a righty. Moves her feet, good shoulder turn, and aggressively goes to the big part of the court. We'll execute it.
What kind of message is she sending to USF with that?
Well, obviously, all teams are going to early on test the overhead confidence and accuracy. And you have to send that message that you have that shot. But missing the setup ground stroke is not going to get it done. And it's been a lot talked about from Coach Moros about how important Cleric is to this team. And she was, you know, out the majority of the season, unfortunately, with an Achilles heel injury. Happened 2 days before the dual match season started, rather. So she's back. And after about a pink eye here with an eye infection, yesterday was just her first match. So they've been doing a ton without her, and they feel that, and in some respects, Morris felt that she might have even been playing #1 in the beginning of the season. So for her at #4, I think it's a big advantage for the USF singles lineup.
Big
Great
point to hold
spot.
serve.
That's a great
Great
spot.
hold. So USF goes up 2-1. On court 2, Tulsa's up 2-1 and a break.
Yeah, that was a great serve into the body there by Ploner with a lefty serve, that extra slice aspect to it. It's hard to handle that.
Let's take you back over to court 1. Data ready serving. Oh.
Well, that's a big time play there.
Hoagie. She ripped it down the line.
Yeah, she's not that tall, but she looked big there. Coming forward, rather aggressive with how early she's already moving here. You can see open stance forehand, great technique, and good disguise. By taking it early and high like that, it's not as easy for the person to read and react on the other side. And we've talked about this now. Donda Reddy has obviously, in my opinion, a quality serve. We still have the player against the wind being challenged in terms of holding. We've had 2 holds with the wind and a break against. Oh, that's a big moment. Talking to Martinez yesterday, she told us that Besanova has these moments where she likes to go line, and it won in the match yesterday, but it can be a double-edged sword in terms of execution, because that was a nice opportunity for them perhaps to get a double break point, and instead it's game point for Tulsa.
On court 2, USF just broke back. It's 2-all. Just to keep you updated on court 3, USF is up 2-1 and up a break as well. That's that forehand you were talking about.
Yeah, she likes to go there. And so now from 30-all, you end up having a situation where they lose that game. Tulsa holds on 2 direction change decisions that ended up going against that team. Yeah, that's good defense of the net.
She tried to hit through it too much, too hard.
Well, you know, I'm actually better off making the ball dip and thinking of a 2-time passing shot concept where you get the first one maybe lower at their feet and then maybe go at them with a lob or an angle. So just trying to blast through people. Some people don't have the reflexes, they don't handle it well, but I think this #1 Tulsa team is okay with the hard quality shots coming out from that net. Yeah, and that's the win. Yeah, that shows you. She hits that lob and not enough topspin on it, and without the extra revolutions on the ball, always carries it long with the wind at your back.
In that game, Tulsa's up 4-1. Looking pretty good on court 1. But then yesterday they were up 4-love before SMU came back. So surely that's in their mind a little bit. You think the coach is saying something to them about staying tough and keeping their focus and not letting up?
Absolutely, but at the same time, you don't want to, go over spoiled milk about what happened yesterday. You want to just talk about what you need to do now.
Let's take you over to court 2, Tulsa, 2-all, down 15-40, but USF is serving. And this has been go ahead. This has been a close one so far. I mean, they've really battled. Each point has been long and hard, and very few unforced errors. Now she'll take that.
It's a great hole. Quality first serve down the tee, and you can start hearing a little bit in our cameras. The wind's picked up a teensy bit here now from match start.
And that was Cardoso with that serve. She was the one who clinched it yesterday at #3, and Morris has said she's been very reliable all season long. I think, especially in this team, she tends to carry and keep her partner pumped up. They're both juniors. They both have experience. They both know what it's like to be to go to a finals. So we'll see how that plays out. And Mark, when the players are talking to each other and they're walking back, are they discussing strategy? Are they getting each other pumped up? Are they, talking about where they should serve?
Yeah, I'd say.
Let's take you over to court 3. USF is up 3-1. Tulsa serving 15-love.
Well, in answer to that question you posed, Stacy, it's D, all of the above. They're talking a little bit of strategy. They're trying to pump each other up. It's a mixture.
That's Okalova in the back. And Ploner's got she's a big lefty. What are the advantages to having a lefty in doubles?
Well, you have some options, which way you want to play the returns in terms of having the outside ground stroke on the outside or the dominant volley on the inside. So it's a choice that you end up making based on the two players that you're coaching. However, you can have a lefty. Often it's harder to attack their second serve, so it's easier sometimes to have more second serve movement on the second serve as well.
30-love. So if it's a lefty and a righty and your backhands are both in the middle, do you yell yours when it comes down the middle, or is there usually one player who likes to?
There's a lot of ways you handle it. It's positioning, it's who hit the last ball, whether the ball preceding was hit. There's a lot. We'd have to get on the court with that one. But
so just to bring you up to date, while you see on USF is up 3-1 on court 3, on court 1, Tulsa's up 4-1. But on court 2, USF is up 3-2, but they're on serve. So it might come down to 2 again.
It will come down to 2. More than likely, this is the position. And yeah, cool. Coach Orford is right now looking. He's chatting with his players, and he mentioned that this team he was going to have to spend some extra time with.
I think also they're freshmen. They don't know what it's like to be in a championship, where some of the other teammates do, and there's something that just experience that gives you. Now we're looking at court 2. It is USF up 3-2. Tulsa serving. That's Matula from Greece, a sophomore, who just hit that serve.
It's big.
That topspin brought it down.
Well, it's the aggression, the intensity. So you have Cardoza, and she's also playing together with Cortez Chavez, and you know those two are emotional leaders on the team. They have a lot of sort of moxie, attitude. They're feisty, and they're going to challenge this Tulsa team, like I mentioned before, especially on this side where Matula is now serving against the wind, and all of her shots are losing some power.
All right, 30-40 break point for USF to go up 4-2 in what might be the deciding match. On court 1, Tulsa up 4-1, serving 40-30 to go up 5-1. And on court 3, USF up 3-2, but on serve at 15-all.
So
there we have a break.
Yeah, you have a break, but really, you know, you had Lena Bonchong, who was in position to maybe make some moves, but because they're down a game point and she was against the wind a little bit, she was tentative. She didn't take any balls, like right here. She didn't take that, you know, the lob, but she couldn't do anything about. But Chavez Cortez is moving over there and doing a nice job.
And actually, number 2, Lena Bonchong and Matula have been 15-3 in dual matches this season. So there's somebody who's been pretty consistent and coach can count on. So he would like to get a break back right now, and so would they.
Yeah, that's a good serve.
Good hands.
Yeah, it's all attitude right now. To me, it's an adrenaline rush associated with the positive score and the attitude, and they're using the wind to their advantage. Cortez Chavez is going right at the player, moving up, taking the ball out of the air, spiking it in the box. I mean, big-time statements there from her.
And USF just broke back, which is big on court 3. It's 3-all, because it looks like Tulsa might wrap it up after this game. They're up 5-1, 15-love. Big backhand by Basanova. And they've really dominated this match. And I don't know if it's senior experience.
Can we get over to, can we switch over to 1? Oh, wow. These girls are on fire right now. They can do no wrong. Everything that they're touching is going to win or gold.
That was Chavez, a junior from Mexico. And these two players have played together the most out of the other teams before Moros mixed it up. Four, 2, 30-love.
There you go. Come on, boy.
It's tough.
Ooh, can I get that back?
Well, just the wind had a little topspin on that ball, and it dropped a little faster than she expected. It looks bad, but that type of thing can happen easily.
So it's triple match point on court 1 for Tulsa. And there it is. They win the first of the doubles points. So let's...
Check that. That's a hole for South Florida. So it's Tulsa 5-2 on break there.
Let's take you to... Wow, that's a big hold for USF. They're now up 5-2. So on court 1, you have Tulsa up 5-2, and on court 2, you have USF up 5-2. And on court 3, Tulsa's up 4-3, and they're on serve.
Yeah, that's a great effort. And that's why head coach Orford has camped himself down on third doubles the entire time. He wants that team.
And the crowd you hear, it's a local crowd for USF, I'd say. Tulsa didn't fly too many people in from Oklahoma.
Well, the USF men's team obviously is finished. They're in the finals. They're very happy. They've gotten out of the ice bath, stretched out, and now they're here getting ready before they go to dinner to cheer the girls on, which is obviously, again, a wonderful thing.
Data ready serving.
Correction, an overrule. Tough. It was very close.
You got to put that one behind you and
Yeah,
move
that's right.
on.
It's very close. I mean, the referees are obviously trying to do the best they can.
You tell me, Mark, what do you see?
Let's see here. Wow. It could have been 99% out, 1% in, which means in.
Augie's ready to poach. She's all over that net, but she actually gave it away, I think, too soon. 30 love.
That's a great serve. Great serve. And,
all right,
that's sort of the difference. Dottaretti has a strong serve that stays low and against the wind. Even though the serve is being held up a little, she's still getting enough on it, and Leskova is moving and filling the middle, so there's a real strong presence there in the first two shots.
All right, so we have 4 match points at court number 1.
4 match points. Yeah, our graphic is reversed. So it should be 40 love for Dottaretti and Leskova. And she's there.
That's a great volley.
She's waiting on the down the line. She had the scouting report down, waiting on it, and delivers.
And Tulsa takes the first doubles match. So for those of you not familiar with the format, it is the team who reaches 4 points first overall. They play these 3 doubles matches, and whoever wins 2 of the doubles matches receives 1 doubles point that will then carry over into the singles. Once we go to singles, it's 6 singles sets, 6 singles matches. The winner of the doubles points needs 3 of the singles matches. Whoever doesn't win the doubles point needs 4. Let's take you over to court 3. Tulsa up 4-3. USF serving 30-15.
Great play by Clona.
I'll tell you what, for 2 freshmen, they're pretty gutsy. You usually see that in freshmen?
You can. If these players were given those types of practice skills, I think there's a ton of growth. I mean, watching them in the fall, maybe they didn't have this down, but having 25, 30 dual matches with coaches on the court helping them through the season, you can see this type of growth even in freshmen. Plus, some juniors, you know, I mean, the majority of juniors aren't, but some juniors were very well versed in playing doubles at the ITF and the national level and capable of making the transition.
Oh, wow. Double fault. Now 2 break points.
Yeah, it's not a good time for that one.
Not at all.
I don't know if there's ever a good time, but that probably doesn't qualify.
Especially when you might be the deciding match for the doubles point. Because on court 2, USF is up 5-2. In talking about their aggressive play, Tulsa, that's one thing that Coach Dean was talking about, that his philosophy is teach the kids to move in, stay on the baseline, and go for it. And it's paying off here.
That's a good choice. But, oh, the crosswind blew it out.
So break point, and Tulsa goes up 5-3 in what might be the deciding match. 2 freshmen. Wow, that wind really did take it. Well, tell you what, the way Tulsa's playing right now, they may finish before court number 2.
Yeah, they're riding a wave of confidence. This was 3-1 down. They have run off 4 games in a row. That's too good. Outstanding backhand up the line. I mean, gets inside the court, transfers her weight, great disguise. Ploner wasn't sure which way it was going.
Steps in and rips
Over the
it.
high part of the net within a matter of inches. I mean, it's almost impossible to cover that. Good fight from the USF girls. Now, doing a nice job of hanging in there.
You know, I just noticed Okolova sort of stretching her knee. It's also wrapped right below it. I don't know if that's something to be concerned with. Whoa.
Big time statement from Ploner. You love that. That's one of those advantages, Stacy, of having a lefty on the team, that on an ad side point, you've got a lefty poach that can just spike it down.
Well played.
Yeah, you love the volleyball mentality. If you don't have an opportunity to finish, set your partner up so they can.
Is that a wind issue?
If you take your eye off the ball ever so slightly right now, with the way this is picking up, you know, there will be some shanks, there will be some mishits. And she gave ground a bit.
And on court 2, to keep you guys updated, Tulsa held serve, and now it's 5-3, USF serving 15 love. And now 30 love.
Outstanding job by Okolova, executing so many first serves down the middle.
So it is now
match point and doubles point.
And game point for USF, break point. What are you going to call?
I think she's going to serve body backhand, and Ploner's going to fill the middle. And there it is. She's there. They did a lot. They did a lot right. Coach is going to have to encourage them there because they did a lot of things right. He's clapping his hands on the way to the break. Coach Orford is, because they did the right thing. Just didn't execute. She made the move. Great reflexes by Claire. Big ground stroke from Zinga. Okolova didn't have the goods on the backhand volley.
And Morris is talking to them right now, and Claire has taken an ice pack and been putting it on top of her head.
Well, because we weren't sure before why that was happening, now we know. She had pink eye and an infection, so she's making sure. She couldn't see out of her right eye 2 days ago.
Which is a bit of a problem if you're trying to play tennis.
I talked to her earlier today when she was walking in, and she told me she was doing well, and I put up 2 fingers, and she said 2 fingers, so I think she's all right.
All right. All right, so this is a big hold right now on court 3 for Clarish. Back on court 2, USF up 5-3, 40-15. Triple set match point, and if they win this, it's 1 for USF, 1 for Tulsa. And it will come down to that court 3. $40-30. They need to get it done here, Mark.
Yeah, I think so. This team has been ahead for so long. It begs the question of how important it is when you have a lead to finish the job, send the message, and put the pressure on the other teams to score points. Oh, wow.
Up. They're not going away, Tulsa.
And
How much are the
Chavez was defending herself.
How much are the 2 courts feeding off each other right now?
It's a different kind of feeding. It's a ping pong of pressure going back and forth right now.
While they're deciding where to serve, on court 3, Tulsa's still up 5-4, but it's 15-all. Zenga just hit a huge volley.
No, that was match point.
Oh, court 2 won their match. You can see
that return went long. So it's match point. You can see just to the right of the screen.
Right. So now it's 1-all, and it is coming down to court 3. And let's not forget, just a game ago, Tulsa had the opportunity that would have clinched the match.
She missed the overhead.
One of them, Tulsa didn't put it away, the volley, and USF missed the overhead. Is that nerves creeping in right now? They know it's down to them?
That one for sure was a little bit of nerves. She had a long look at it, and the ball is up there, and then it starts dropping. And that's why you want to go for the other girl. Unfortunately, it sounds like a horrible sportsmanship gesture, but the other person's a target in the middle of the court. It's easy to look at the baseline as a distance target and miss that long a little bit with the wind at your back like she has it. Yeah, it's just that it's 2 wind mistakes there. So she's very careful in that ground stroke, trying not to do too much. Takes a little racket head speed off, and that pushes it long. So now
Clarish is serving to try to keep them in the match. And
yeah, this is pressure right now that's causing these mistakes.
The doubles point on the line.
Give Claire credit there.
This is why you got to love no ad scoring.
Well,
it doesn't get any better than this.
Well, as a coach, this is why I love when people get their first serve in the box, because that transfers pressure back to the other side. Plona had to execute that shot, and she got a little tight and shanked it, and so now the plot thickens.
2 freshmen and 2 sophomore. Clarish serving for USF.
Fortune favors the bold, Stacy.
Clutch play. We are going to 5-all in the deciding match.
Of smart ground strokes by Cleric, because your job is to hit the ball through the middle, so you take away some of the angles. Cleric started setting the table, trying to get, Foner was looking to try to get involved, and then Zinga creeps over and the backhand volley dumper.
And the one word Morris described her team and her philosophy was warriors, and we are seeing it right now.
That's right.
Ploner serving for Tulsa, in case you're just joining us. I'm not sure who's pacing more, the coaches or the players right now.
Yeah, they want their teammates to win and cheering for them.
This is what I love about college tennis. You can see to the right of your screen, all the teams are lined up on the other court cheering.
Tough to try to play that lob in that situation.
30-15.
I would almost rather than play both back and just tell her to crack the ground stroke, because anything that's a little tentative is flying out on this side right now. Great move.
How much is just the presence of showing them that you're willing to cross over and poach?
Well, I think that you have to have done it at some point in your career, and it had to have worked for you, because these middle backhand volleys are where a lot of the matches are won, especially with so much tennis being game points on the ad side of matches. That poach is a critical one. Zinga's just overplayed a few shots there, and after the momentum of winning that 5-4 game, I think they've allowed them to have a pretty quick hold here, and I'm not sure that that is what Coach Morris would have wanted, but this is the situation now. They're going to have to figure out a way to problem solve and hold the 5-6. Good lefty serve, body forehand, and just about a 1.5 feet long.
How do teams, you talk about the lefty serve, how do teams who don't have a lefty player sort of prepare for that?
Well, it's an excellent question, Stacy. You get an assistant coach or a volunteer assistant, or you grab a boy from the boys team, or, you know, when I'm at junior tournaments with my students, I've learned how to hit lefty serves. And my lefty serve isn't Goran Ivanisevic level or Nadal level, but I mean, I can get some cut on it and make the ball bounce and just get them to concentrate on how it's going to move differently than right-handed serving that they see 95% of the time.
All right, so USF serving to stay in this doubles point.
Wow, that is a big moment there. Now, it's a far sideline.
Can she even see that?
It's tough. It was slow moving, but far sidelines are really tough. It's a gutsy call from a ref. Generally, referees are encouraged not to make that call, but it was moving really slow, and it was directly in front of her. So, of any time to call it, I mean, you know, I'm not going to question. It's not my job, but it is customary that that call is left alone. Big
Well,
first
also,
serve.
part of what Coach Orford was complaining about is really the crowd reacted and was making the call, and the referee.
Yeah, the refs reacted to a crowd reaction. But you know,
like
the boys of USF are here.
Yeah.
And as a result, it is going to be some crowd noise in favor of the Lady Bulls throughout this afternoon.
It's 30 love. she broke a string, and she still was able to win the point. That's tough to do. Just shot of that forehand. I think she knew she broke it and was hoping that the point ended pretty quickly.
Yeah, I don't think Okolova heard it. I'm not sure if Okolova heard it, she would have gone for a direction change at that moment. Wow. A kicker ace away from a lefty forehand.
That's clutch tennis, and we're going to a tiebreaker.
That's beyond clutch. I don't even, if in Vegas there was odds on that, I can't even tell you what the number would have been. 300 to 1 that something like that could happen. An against the wind ace to Ploner's forehand.
So we will now play the first to 7 win by 2 in the tiebreaker. Okolova to serve.
And a great serve. And, you know, in that instance, Ploner's got to move. Ploner's got to move and take that middle ball. She let a ball get through there to penetrate her middle.
And Ploner's at the, I think she's complaining about the crowd noise right now. Somebody was speaking up in the middle of the point. But you know what, that's, I think, freshman jitters and inexperience.
But, you know, also there are rules. We were talking about this a little bit earlier today, that I was 2 years ago at Baylor when the Big 12 unveiled the heckle rule.
Let's watch this point for a minute.
Good lefty ground stroke, good response by Ploner. But I was there in Baylor when they had the heckle rule a couple years ago, and it really was almost put to make it more fun and more fan-friendly, but it got a little out of hand. So now the teams have to sit in specific places, be able to cheer. But I'm not sure how this is going to be handled today with the boys team cheering. Not good enough.
Was it the right idea, just not executed well enough?
No, I don't like that idea. It was a tentative topspin lob. And Zinga missed the one overhead earlier, but I think she's a pretty good finisher.
She didn't even make her move back at all, so she was really just on top of the net.
She just underhit it. She was nervous. And there it is again. Backhand volley coaches at meaningful times. I mean, Christina Morris was an amazing player herself, top ITF junior, world-ranked player, played professional tennis. So she, you know, was an amazing NCAA All-American in doubles, and she played with the, oh my gosh, Stephanie Nikitas it was, and they were an amazing team for many, many years, and definitely has the team making those moves. I think, Stacy, that they should have more pre-planned poaches with a serve as good as Ploner's.
Sort of a play drawn out.
Yeah. I think Okolova should just be taking off after some of Ploner's first serves and not allowing the point to even get into a rally situation. Ploner's serve is, as you just saw there, drew an error on a second ball. It's definitely a serve that has action and movement and is good enough to be one that.
So 3-2.
To sneak on.
USF right now.
Yeah.
The scorebook has got a 30-40. We're in the tiebreaker right now. It should show 3-2 USF on the scorebook.
The scoreboard is wrong right now. So it's 3-2 in the tiebreaker. Tell you what, I will give credit to both teams up at the net. They're not shying away from it.
That's a big-time forehand. Zinga will make a couple mistakes here and there, but the greater good of the offense that she's doing, and to me, you know, on a windy day like today where it's easy to allow the wind to almost paralyze you in terms of choices, Zinga's been going big targets, right shot, right time, and even though these guys were up 3-1 and then down 5-3, this roller coaster ride has been one heck of a one, but right now USF is on the positive end of the momentum.
Well,
long.
You saw the shift in Zenga for sure back at 5-4 when they won that deuce point. And since then, her confidence has just grown exponentially.
Yeah, sometimes it takes those types of moments when your back's against the wall for you to see what you're really made of. And that gut check has really helped this team. And Coach Orford has struggled a little bit trying to get this third doubles team to the finish line. And I think he's done a nice job with this match.
Yeah, it's 5-2 Tulsa. Sorry, 5-2 USF. Tulsa needs to hold both here to stay in this match and have a chance at the doubles point.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
She's going to be having nightmares about that one tonight.
Yeah, and with the boys going crazy behind them too, that just daggers you a bit more.
She should have put away this first one and didn't.
Yeah,
and
she went right back to her.
Yep.
And then, it's very frustrating.
Well, 6-2, and USF has 4 chances to take the doubles point. And I think these girls are going to go crazy if they do. I will give them credit. They appear, and I'd like to see your thoughts on this, that they're both playing and going for it, not trying not to lose. They're playing to win.
You're speaking of the USF team?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It's a great first serve. It's a great first serve.
And USF wins the doubles point. Holy cow, it's not how it was scripted with the number 7 seed being in the finals today, but they are not playing like a number 7 seed.
Yeah, but this is a new doubles combination, and Coach Orford had been struggling a little bit with getting the job done at 3 doubles, and this is where the decider ends up happening. So credit to USF for taking number 2 doubles, really, and being able to have the opportunity for this.
And here's the deciding point.
Great first serve. Caught the return just a wee bit late. And credit the USF boys for crowd support as well. They kept those girls motivated, and they battled hard through that moment.
So now we have a 5-minute break, and we will take the singles court. There's 6 singles, 2 out of 3 sets. At 6 all in any of the sets, we play a 7-game tiebreaker. And let's take a break, and we'll be back with the singles. You're watching the American Digital Network.
The University of South Florida is a regional powerhouse with global significance, leading advances that are changing the world. Now a leader among the nation's universities in research, healthcare, and just being cool. The place where young men and women train to become the best.
This is where the Bulls run.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
The University of South Florida is a regional powerhouse with global significance, leading advances that are changing the world. Now a leader among the nation's universities in research, healthcare, and just being cool. The place where young men and women train to become the best.
This is where the bulls run.
I'm now joined by USF head coach Christina Moros. Coach, congratulations. Big, big doubles point for your team right there. You had never beaten Tulsa previously in the doubles point. Your lineup looked a lot different today than the last time out. What changes did you try to make?
We really went on chemistry and the ones that worked together the best, and it seemed to pay off today.
On three, it was a fight till the end, into the tiebreak. You had your sophomore team out on that court. How were you coaching them through that point?
They kind of handled it themselves. I told them a few things there and there, but they took care of it, and I'm really proud of them.
It's been a great ride for your team here this week. A 7 seed in the final, wins the doubles point. Now you have to worry about singles. What are you looking for from your team here right now?
I mean, really, we just need to play within ourselves. It's not over till the last point's played, and Tulsa's extremely good in singles, and we're going to have a battle.
All right, Coach, best of luck to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stacy?
Thanks, Haley. And Coach Morris has to be thrilled with where they stand going into singles. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back as the ladies take the court.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Welcome back. This is the highlights from the doubles match. And we're back as the ladies have taken the singles court. Some matches are already underway. Let's run through the lineup. At number 1 singles for Tulsa, we have Laskatova, and for USF, Dominguez. At number 2 singles for Tulsa, Lena Bonchong, and for USF, Besanova. At number 3 singles, it's Data Ready for Tulsa against Cordosa, USF. And for number 4 singles, it's Okalova for Tulsa and Clarish for USF. Number 5 for Tulsa, Matula versus Zenga, USF. And at number 6, Sishan for Tulsa against Cortez Chavez for USF. So one of the things that we talked with both coaches about, and they were, said it was unusual and different year, different group of girls, but the depth on both teams, they couldn't be more thrilled with. Neither one of the teams have ranked players, yet they can count on 6 as much as they can count on their number 1.
That's right, Stacy, and it's going to matter now. For Tulsa, the consistency and the depth that they have, critical, because they're going to need 4 out of 6. Obviously, Tulsa is good enough to go 4 the hard way here. So Tulsa is not out of this by any stretch. This is probably, for the most excitement and drama for this duel, the best way it could have happened, with South Florida now having that doubles point and having an opportunity to try to see if they can find 3 points across the line. Definitely Tulsa will now have to take that punch in the mouth,
right,
regroup, and come back out fighting.
And one of the interesting things is when they played on March 16th, Tulsa won 4-2. But it was a completely different lineup, like we were referring to earlier. So they really don't know what they're going to see today.
Yeah, the only matchup that is actually the same, I think, is #1 singles here.
That's right.
So those are the only players that actually battle with one another, and this is...
And when they played last time, Laskatuva lost to Roman Dominguez 6-3, 6-1. So it wasn't so close. So it'll be interesting to see how she comes out and plays today. So Dominguez is a sophomore from Spain. That's who's serving right now. Laskatova, a junior from Russia, 5'11". Does the height, how does that play into?
Yeah, Laskatova is about as polished as I've ever seen a #1 college player that doesn't have, you know, a professional WTA singles ranking or an ITA ranking. You know, I really am impressed with her, you know, all around, the way she plays, the way she conducts herself. So she did have a positive success in futures in the doubles, but in singles she doesn't have any WTA points as of yet. And talking to Coach Moros about Ana Roman Domingo, she says that she just battles and finds a way and probes the person until it's almost like body blows. Like jab into the stomach, jab into the rib, until she finally finds a way to knock someone out. So she just will stay the long course on this one. And with the wind being a bit of an equalizer out here, it may even, you know, I think probably help Ana Roman Dominguez a little bit more than if it was maybe more even out.
Right. And she's gone 10-8 this season, which is really not indicative of her play when you play #1. I mean, you're definitely the player who is going to be playing more tough opponents day in and day out. If they don't have as the strength down bottom at 4, 5, and 6, regardless, you're going to be playing somebody tough. So 10-8 is not too shabby.
That's right. This is also common. You'll see when people go from doubles to singles, and particularly in this moment where it's a little breezy, they're going to play through the middle of the court a little bit now and just let the wind dance the ball around so they can see where they have to go with their aiming.
Well, Laskatova off to a quick start and a quick break and goes up 1-0. So I don't know what Coach told him at the break, but he was looking for a quick start, and he got it with her.
Yeah, singles has a lot of momentum shifts. The challenge with a match like this is that the service games on a windy day can be equalized, so it almost becomes harder to get the free points.
So all the courts are just underway, but just to give you an update on Court 2, Tulsa is up 1-0. On Court 3, USF is up 1-0. On Court 4, Tulsa's up 1-0 and a break. Court 5, Tulsa's up 1-0 on serve. And on Court 6, USF is up 1-0. One of the things that, you know, you and I have talked about is coaches on the sideline, and I loved it when I was in college. I don't know, you know, your thoughts on it, but as a player, I like to know that the coach was there to support me when I needed it or pump me up when I needed it.
Yeah, that's great. We have a split screen here, and we're showing 1, 3, 5. Top left is 1, top right is 3, bottom left is 5. Nice look here. Top left, Liskova serving. And that's the nice thing about tennis. If you throw the service toss up and you don't like it, you can actually get a redo. There's nothing against you doing that.
And on Court 3 on the near court is Cordosa, who clinched it yesterday for USF. She's a fighter. She's the one that Morris has said has been extremely consistent all season and really stepped up, and she could count on her. And, you know, we've seen it throughout this tournament. Big reason why USF is in the finals.
Yeah, and that's a big match, I think, both ways. Dada Reddy is a veteran. She's been playing for this team and doing quite well at her position. Rather composed and handles herself, I think, in maybe one of the most mentally even manners. You never know watching her what the score is from her demeanor and her exterior.
And down on the bottom left, we have Matula serving against Zanga. Zanga was the one who in doubles just clinched it, and the momentum was all on their side of the court.
That's an understatement. Roger that. Great sounds. Number one singles are hitting heavy.
Not calling a let with that ball in the middle of the court. Yeah. Thought the umpire, that's their job, if not the players.
That's the ref's responsibility.
Go, Tulsa.
Down at the bottom left, Matula. Matula really goes for that serve. She's aggressive in that manner and likes to start off the point ahead. And Zanga also likes to start off the point ahead. So you have two offensive-minded, early point dominating types of players clashing there at 5. They both like to get the upper hand on the other one. And as you can see, there's Matula quickly jumping on that short ball and then applying the pressure with the forehand approach shot.
Some of that, you know, I guess how much of that comes from them playing doubles, learning to be able to be aggressive and hit approach shots and come in and take the ball early and hit volleys?
I think it's a combination of the skill set they bring and a bit of the mantra that the coaches have.
In today's tennis, with the doubles point being so important, do some of the coaches recruit based on doubles talent versus a singles player who they try to teach to play doubles?
Excellent question. I think that the doubles is becoming more and more of a recruitable concept. So many of the juniors don't play it that well that a lot of coaches feel like they just have a responsibility to train them. If someone is outstanding, you know, just high school state champion, ITF champion, USTA gold ball type of student, then obviously they'll add that to the mix. But singles is, for the most part, how people are tracked, particularly in America with the tennis recruiting rankings. They have star ratings based on blue chip, 5-star, 4-star. That's all singles based. I would like to see the tennis recruiting actually have doubles numbers.
Laskatova on court number 1 just held to go up 2-0. On court 2, it's 1-all. Court 3, 2-1 Tulsa. Court 4, Tulsa is up 2-0, 30-all. Court 5, Tulsa is up 2-1. And on court 6, USF has the lead 2-1.
Yeah, that number 4 is a big position, and that Cleric is one of the tough in top positions for USF, and she's off to a really slow start right now, just going down 3-0 against Martina Okolova. So Okolova up 3-0 on one of the best points for USF here at number 4 singles. So that's a big moment on a court that will probably have some significance as this plays out.
What's the ultimate impact? You know, Tulsa sort of breezed through the draw. So, you know, they had some tough matches here and there, but USF really had to grind it out throughout the week. Does that take a toll on USF, or does it sort of prepare them a little better for this competition today because they've had more reps?
I think your question answers the question. I think it just dead
doesn't
on
matter?
with that. I think no, I think it does matter, Stace. I think it's like a Gladiator movie or a Braveheart type of concept. You get those badges of courage and those Purple Hearts from winning these other close matches that maybe you weren't supposed to win. You feel better about yourself, and you feel like you're ready to take on the Goliath. You know, the Tulsa Hurricane here, that's the top dog.
They're not called the Golden Hurricane for nothing.
They're the Golden Hurricane because they haven't lost one of these conference matches since they joined.
That's right. They're going for their 3rd consecutive championship, but prior to that, they were part of Conference USA, and they have won 5 other ones. So they know how to win. They're 11 in a row appearances for the NCAAs, which they're hoping they will have a bid to that. They'll find out the first week of May. The bids go out.
Now, Coach Orford said that they don't do it easy. They have to battle hard for it, and today that's going to be the case. This USF team is spirited, and they fight, and they make a lot of balls, and they compete well in all the positions. So this one may take a while, Stace.
On court 1, your top left on the screen, Laskatova has 4 break points to go up 3 love, which is a complete different look at how they played last time.
Yeah, it's still a lot of mishit balls, a lot of shanks that all the players are going to have to practice safer targets and lots of movement. This is going to be about extra adjustment steps, watching the ball. It's one of those things that goes without saying, right? Move your feet, watch the ball. Well, that's really going to be probably the most prevailing theme here. So these girls who are pretty precise about their ground stroke choices to be able to do what they would like to do instead of playing in some really super controlled, calculated, I can't do anything, to get closer to their normal feel-good shots. They're going to have to really move well.
Well, Laskatova goes up 3 love. It's also, you know, in the wind, one of the, you know, 2 of the things that are the most important is move your feet and first serves. And how much with USF, I mean, they're 98 miles down the road, so it's not home court advantage, but it's pretty close. But how much does that favor them knowing, you know, what the wind is like? Plus, you know, talking to Moros yesterday, she said she wanted to play, they were meant to play Central Florida in Tampa, but she asked them if they could play here because she wanted another match under her belt on these courts.
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, I think it was genius that she moved the match. Who does that? Who says I'm going to go play the away match instead of the home? But she did it. So credit to her for making that decision. You know, I've been in the Tulsa facility a lot as a coach for the ITF tournaments with my own juniors and at the NCAAs twice. So it's windy there as well. I don't think that Tulsa doesn't have a wind preparation for something like this, but clearly being right down the road, the weather, the temperature, just the whole atmosphere is definitely more of a home advantage for USF. I would agree with you.
Just a quick glance down all courts, and Tulsa is leading on every court except number 6. So whatever that pep talk in the huddle was from Coach Orford, he got his message across. There's a lot of tennis to be played, but it's how they want to start.
No doubt. I definitely feel the South Florida doubles point makes this more interesting. Tulsa, with some of their positions, could have possibly had an opportunity for maybe even a blowout, if you will, with the doubles point in their hand. So this is going to allow the plot to thicken for a while. And we'll just have to see, you know, USF, they're not the types that go away. So they're going to keep fighting. Tulsa will have to maintain and execute from ahead.
Bottom left is court 6. The only lead on all the courts right now that USF has at 3-1.
Yeah, Jessica Cortez Chavez was the #1 player for USF last year. And now she's down at 6. And again, she also had a wrist injury, so she was missing some time and was a little tentative coming back, going forward and being aggressive with her forehand because she was coming off a wrist injury. But Coach Morris feels that she's found her stride now, and she was really feisty yesterday, closing. Well, she didn't close. She was still actually unfinished, but she had come back from 5-2 down in the third and was in position to win her match if it was required yesterday. So she's a heart and soul, spirit of the team, and just a great interview yesterday. We were chatting, having a good time with her. She understands her role and really enjoys the battle.
And she didn't seem to mind that she wasn't playing as high as she had played in the past. I mean, that's a credit to Christina, who has worked with these ladies off the court as much as on the court, mentally. And that's hard to teach these young players when they come through juniors and it's me, and they come to college and they become, a team player. That's a completely different mentality, which, this is, you coach some of the best juniors in the country. I mean, how do you teach them and how do you get them prepared for that?
It's an excellent comment, Stacey. And at least from my junior hat where I sit, I do team competitions every day. I make captains, and they pick teams, and they learn how to compete with one another all the time. And I make sure all my students play in all the team competitions that are available to them in juniors, so they can at least have that inroads, as well as trying to play some high school tennis if at all possible. So I try to give them a background, but I think I have a team concept in my academy. I think that's where it starts.
So on the top right, you're looking at court number 4. Tulsa's up 4-love, 15-all. You've got Vanya Clarish for USF. And for University of Tulsa, it is Okalava.
3 boxes, great. We can go back to just one individual course. It's okay. We can bounce around
that. Let's take you back to court 1 right now, where Tulsa is up 3-love, 40-15, and Laska Nova's got out here, and she got out to a fast start, and I tell you what, she knows that she has a role on this team. She'd like to get on and off the court quickly, get a point on the board for them, and then be able to cheer her team on. And if that's what her mission was, she is taking advantage of it and doing exactly what was asked of her.
And it's always it's a pride issue when you have the ability to dictate and dominate at that top position. Most of the time that can be a position that's unfinished, if you will. So to have your best be able to possibly dominate somebody else's best sends a little bit of a message as you go down the line.
Well, she's a junior. She's from Russia. She, in 2015, won the American Athletic Conference Freshman of the Year. So she came in with obviously both physical and mental some experience and was able to make a direct impact right away for the Tulsa Golden Hurricane.
Oh, that's severe. That's a great use of the crosswind. It's amazing how strong that wind is going, and you can see now Luskova's connecting to it. She's working that to be able to create an opportunity like that to sneak in and play the drop. She's realizing the longer the point works on the other side of the court, it's going to take her a longer time to finish. So at that top of the screen where Leshkova is, the forehand angle is going to be the pay dirt, where it's going to create the opportunities, the short balls, and in this case, a little sneak drop volley to the open court, which I love. Good choice. Ana Roman Dominguez is the type that will battle and extend the point. It's almost like her role here is a bit of the competitive antagonist here, keeping the point as long as possible and putting more of a finishing responsibility on Leshkova. I just think that Roman Dominguez has to be careful about how far back she gets pushed in the baseline. She needs to play a little tighter to the baseline and try to create openings that way. That's a good ball. Wow. And just like Leshkova was able to pull her through that sideline with a cross-court forehand, she should be looking to conversely hit the inside-out forehand there in that manner.
Let's take a look at that again.
Good footwork on the side. And the inside-out forehand is hit kind of on the side of your body. It's a little different, Stacey, than when we grew up where everything was sort of quote-unquote said and told out in front. The concept of an inside-out forehand is more of an on-the-side shot that allows that type of width that she was just able to create there. Roman Dominguez is one of the toughest outs in this conference, and it's not by accident. Again, for those that are not familiar with Latin heritage, you have two last names. You carry the father's first and the mother's second, so Roman would be her dad's name, and Dominguez would be her mom's name, so that's why we have Cortez Chavez and Roman Dominguez.
And she was clear she'd like us to use both, which
right.
was a shout out to both her parents.
We do not want any parents unhappy, so.
And you know what? This is actually a great time. One of the nice things about the internet is that with both these teams being 100% international, they have family all over who's able to watch their teams today compete in the finals. And that's unusual. I mean, back when you and I played, even in the United States, my folks didn't know how I did or what I did until I called them after the match. So if they're watching, welcome, and hope you're enjoying it. The ladies all said to us yesterday on both teams they were thrilled that y'all would be able to watch it, and can't wait to talk to you till after the match.
And we've got a battle going on here, but USF right now is only winning at number 6. 4-love at 1, 5-1 at 2, 4-1 at 3, 4-1 at 4, 4-3 at 5. So Tulsa is making a strong bid. When you want to win 4 the hard way, your first job is to start getting some first sets.
That's
and they
right.
have done an excellent job of positioning themselves for just that.
We were talking a little while ago about Roman Dominguez, her dual match record, you know, just being 10-8, but Laskatova is 10-11. So once again, it's to the point of number ones are hard. They're hard to rack up the wins.
Well, playing the schedules that these teams play, playing against the top teams, the out-of-conference schedules that they play, it is incredibly difficult at the top positions.
It's a good point. Coach Orford has to be a little happy with what he's seeing right now. And Morris, on the other hand, is probably trying to think of something to tell each of her players to see if she could turn them around and get some, even if they lose the first set, get the second set going pretty quickly.
Yeah, that's a big statement there from Roman Dominguez. She's got to show that she's going to be at least emotionally in this, even though right now the scoreboard's gotten away from her a little bit.
Right. And now it's a break point coming up for Laskatova to take a 5-love.
She just didn't do enough with the approach shot, so nice offensive passing shot by Dominguez.
Laskatova would love to have this point and not let her back in any way, shape, or form. It is set point on court 2. Tulsa's up 5-1, 40 all. So it's either game point or Tulsa will take the first set. Keep you posted. And Tulsa takes the first set, 6-1 on court 2. They are up 5-1, 30-love on court 3.
Fix it, whatever you need to do it. Hopefully.
So just to bring you up to date, 4-1 right now on court 1 for Tulsa, 6-1 for Tulsa on court 2. They've taken that first set. And on court 3, Tulsa just took the first set, 6-1. Court 4, Tulsa's looking great at 4-2. But USF has fought back on court 4. On court 5, it's 4 all. And then on court 6, USF is up 5-1. So they're not going out, and they're not going out quickly. You're watching court 1 on the top left. Take you to court 4 on the top right. It's 4-2 Tulsa. 15 all. Klarish is serving for USF. She's a sophomore from Serbia, to Okolova, a freshman from Slavic Republic. She should have come in.
Yeah, Clark is just having a difficult time. Just not able to finish the job. She's now starting to put herself in good position, but I think, you know, she is someone that the team was counting on, but the lack of match play in big moments might be a little bit of an issue for her right now. And now the yeah, it's just a hard situation for someone like that has high expectations, and obviously Coach Moros was even considering playing her at 1. She probably at 4 feels that she should be bringing points back for the team, but just missing a couple matches here, missing a bunch in the beginning of the season, just her total match count may be down. Hopefully she can kind of get her teeth into this match and sort of find her way back, but so far she's been struggling a little bit, and you can see there with that direction change, just not on top of her game. And now it's 5-2 for Okolova at number 4 singles.
And at number 5, Tulsa has taken a 5-4 lead. Let's take you back to court 1. Laskatova is still up 4-1 and up 40-15, but Armand Dominguez is not letting up. I mean, she's hitting the ball and beating the ball as hard as she was early in the match, and she's not going away. Great forehand.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, well done. You know, one of the things, too, we talk about, you and I have been talking about in the team sport, is that just staying on the court and having a presence sends a message down the line. You know, these players can see the scores on most of the courts. They can see their teammates. They feel the energy. They feel the momentum. What does the coach say to them in order to keep them focused on their court, yet sort of aware of the other matches?
It's one heck of a question, and as I go across the country and cover these college matches, I get a different answer, Stacey, quite a bit. Some coaches like them to focus on their court, and then if they're picking up a ball or going to their towel and they see something in their periphery, then offer a boost to their teammate and then back to their court, and that's all. You know, offer one thing. Some coaches allow players that are a little bit more of maybe team leaders or vocal. They feel like they can have a filtered concentration and still play, and they let those players have a little more latitude. So I've seen it work both ways.
I loved looking down. I loved knowing what everybody was doing. I fed off that.
I didn't. I tried to be in my own zone. I had these weird idiosyncratic. I mean, I was like a mixture of John McEnroe, Nadal, and Steffi Graf all in one, probably. I didn't look. When people would try to give me the ball after a point, I wouldn't even look back at them, and I'd let the ball go to the wall. So, yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Tennis is, yeah, I mean, maybe I needed some help.
You needed some of what Morris has given her players, the psychological help off the court.
Well, you know, maybe if I had done a better job, I would have been a 5-time All-American and made it to the NCAA finals like you did at Georgia, there, boss. So, you know.
Thanks for those props. You're now seeing a split screen. In the top left is 1. To the right is 3, and to the bottom left is 5. And for those courts that you cannot see, let's just bring you up to date. Court 2, Tulsa's up 6-1, but down a break and 1 love in the second. Court 3, Tulsa's up 6-1, starting the second set. And Court 4, Tulsa's up 5-2, 40 love. On Court 3, Court 5, we have a battle at 5-all. And on Court 6, USF has won 6-1, starting the second set. So, really, what are you thinking at this point if you're Coach Morris? You're down basically 4 singles. You got a chance at one of the singles, and you're up in 1 singles.
If I'm Coach Morris, the number one thing is to get Zinga a set at Court 5, and then try to see if possibly one of these sets on the top 4 that I'm losing or that I've lost that I can flip. You know, because you only need 3. So as big as the scoreboard looks for Tulsa, USF's, you know, if they win the first set at number 5, then they're in position to win 2 and get 3 points, and they only need 1 more. So it's not as daunting as the scoreboard actually appears. That doubles point is a nice thing to have in your back pocket in this college format.
That's right. Well, and also, I mean, you can't discount, even though right now it seems lopsided at court number 1. They start a whole new set. If she rips it like that, they will go to
and then the boys
3 sets.
And then the boys semifinals earlier today, there were 5 3-setters out of 12 matches. So I mean, there's almost half the matches were split when teams are, you know, obviously really strong and at a high level. So having these deep squads, heavily contested.
So we haven't really talked about this no-ad scoring in the format, you know, in college, with the format changing a couple of years ago to make it a little more fan-friendly, to make it better for television, to make it less on the student athlete as far as length of matches. I mean, there's both sides to it, but what came out of it was, you know, going from an 8-game pro set to a 6-game pro set for doubles, going to no ad scoring. And what are the coaches saying about the no ad scoring? What are you hear from them?
The majority of them are fine with it now. There was probably 55-45 before. Oh, the boys woke up.
Yeah.
I thought they had taken a nap over there after the doubles point.
I think they went out and got something to eat and came back. And now they're rejuvenated.
Now they're getting locked and loaded with their cheering. Yeah, I feel that it's probably 85-15 that the coaches across the country have accepted it and they're okay with it, and they feel that it's part of the process, and they like the idea that most of the matches are finishing under 3 hours now. Definitely, it's a barn burner, and a lot of people probably have bottles of Pepto-Bismol next to the courts, Stacey, because it's just so stressful.
Right. You're taking a look at court 5 right now. It's 5-all, 40-30 for Tulsa. They're serving. Let's see what Zenga has in her pocket.
Big forehand. Draws the air.
Oh.
Matula's questioning it, but it definitely was long.
All right, so it's break point and game point, and this is big. I mean, this is one thing that could give USF a little more momentum if they could go up 6-5 and try to serve it out for the set.
Well, winning this set is a rather important piece to this. They only need to flip one more match. I mean, the clinic that Chavez is putting on down there at the bottom, you feel like she's going to probably continue to stay on that roll. So,
which is interesting.
There's the winner. Woo, that's a big forehand. And that's one of those where the coach goes, no, no, no. Great shot.
Yeah.
No, great shot.
Not exactly how scripted it, but
well, no, I mean, it's a great shot for her. She has a good shot. But you normally taking an inside-in forehand and going a winner return line, there's only about 3 feet of margin for error in terms of horizontal on a windy day. So that's a shot you got to really believe in if you're going to pull the trigger. But she's been making, you know, some pretty big statements with her forehand from doubles throughout the singles. So it's part of her. It's how she plays.
Well, and if you're a player, right, you feed off the momentum from doubles, especially forget that they won the point. She actually clinched the point in the match that they clinched it, you know. So you're coming in here thinking, I'm going to win this. I'm going to win this for my team. And, you know, she's got nothing to lose. She knows what's going on down the courts. She knows that they need her. They need this match.
Yeah, she's got some feel-good flowing through the veins for sure.
She's definitely stepping up. The top right is court 3. Tulsa up 6-1. Down 2-0. USF is taking the lead in the second set. And to your point, just 1 or 2 of these matches need to flip in the second set. These players need to stay focused and realize it's not over yet.
Well, you already have a 2-0 lead for USF at number 3.
That's right. So the scoreboard up in the top left is for court number 1, court number 3 in the top right, and then court number 5 in the bottom left. Data ready serving for Tulsa.
Smart
court
serve
3.
there. Looking down at number 5 singles, and there are both of Tulsa's coaches down there at number 5. They are trying to do anything they can to get that 5th set.
Are they making a statement?
That's a big statement to see 2 coaches at one match.
It's a big statement to see that, but it's also a lot of confidence in the other players that nobody is on their courts. Data Reddy is a senior. She's 5'11". That's a lot of height in one young lady, but she's, you know, she's been in this position before. Like we talked about earlier, Tulsa's going for their 3rd consecutive championship.
We got a triple set point for Zinga at 5 here. Stepping up to the line, taking her time.
Let's take you over to court 5 where...
Makes the first serve, builds the rally, goes for the up the line direction change, short ball forehand. And she's just, that was a heck of a job there by Matula, just withstanding all of the power Zinga was trying to bring there. Our scoreboard is reversed there. So Zinga is 40-30 serving for this right now. So it's 40 Zinga, 30 Matula. So this is still 2 set points here. This 40-30 and then a no ad if she wasn't able to execute this one.
Big second serve coming up.
Wow. She just really immediately takes the offense on those early forehands, and that one's hard to believe. That's a big mistake for her. And, you know, I'm sorry, you go, Stacey.
No, I was going to say, I'm impressed that she's going for it. So many times let's take a look at this forehand
again. That's a great
again.
shot, and then she's fluid with her movement. She moves up there. She has time. And to me, that ball doesn't have to be a line drive. She could play just a little more margin, get the ball up and down like a baby little mushroom cap, little rainbow type of shape on that ball. It's just, she went, wow. She goes bomb, thinks that she got the ace, gets called wide, agreed with the ref. Now, this is a tough second serve.
The wind is picked up, too.
Well, you've blown a wide open forehand. You've had 4 set points, and now you think you had an ace. That's gone, and now you have to play this. And she goes big again and gets it. That is live by the sword, die by the sword. There's nothing I can say about that right there.
But you know what? I love that. And I think when players are willing to do that, and they keep doing it, and they keep doing it, eventually they will do it.
She got a nice kick on the second, and that ball, but falling backwards, she gets that geometry. She's 3 feet behind the baseline, and she gets a down-the-line winner to land inside the service box. It's just...
I would not say that's percentage tennis.
I don't know. I don't know what it was, really. I think because the crosswind was blowing the other way, it held it up.
Sure.
And a little bit of wind helped to some degree, but that's a big statement.
That's great,
there.
and USF takes that first set 7-5. So now on 5 and 6, they've won the first set. The other 4 courts, they've lost the first set. But let's bring you up to date on court 1. They're just starting the second set. Top left, you'll see court 1. Tulsa's still up 6-1 starting the second set. On court 2, it's Tulsa up 6-1, 2-all. So it's staying tight there. On court 3, Tulsa's up 6-1, down 2-1 and a break in the second. Court 4, Tulsa's up 6-2, 1-all, and we know it just happened on court 5. And then on court 6, USF won that first set 6-1, but Tulsa's come back and is up 2-0 in the second set. lot of questioning calls on court 1.
Yeah, you know, sometimes you get those top players and there's some ego, and sometimes, you know, you can work the refs a little bit.
That's right. We
Ask
saw that.
the refs, hey, what do you think, ref? Hey, what do you think, ref? And try to set them up for possibly an overrule later. I mean, there's some psychology sometimes in working the refs, as long as you're polite. But, you know, also, that's why they're there. The refs should be the arbiter for questions.
So, Laskatova and Roman Dominguez, who last time Laskatova lost 6-3, 6-1, she's now up 6-1, 1-0. So it's a completely different match, which just shows you, you know, any day is anybody's match. And, you know, you got to come out every day, and a lot of it could be because of the doubles point. Who knows? But at the top, that's the great thing about college tennis. You never know.
Yeah, that's close. Yeah, it's long. Yeah, I'd say that the shot tolerance is still quite high at #1 singles, and its points are averaging 8 to 12 hits. For some of the other positions, the points are finishing a lot quicker.
But that's also, I mean, a credit to sort of the type of player Roman Dominguez is. She seems to be a little bit more of a retriever, fighter, scrappier player on some of the other courts. They're a little bit more of closers. So now that was a big point on court 3, just broke serve. USF has gone up 3-1. I'm thinking Christina is coming down to tell Cardoza that, you know, 5 and 6 are looking good for USF, so hang in there and keep fighting.
Yeah, it's a good question. Whether or not she would tell her that, I have no idea. The one team tournament I coach every year in June, I coach, you know, girls team in a college format just like this, and I would never tell one girl what was going on across the other courts. I'd try to keep her in the present on her own.
Well, you know, like we talked about, I think, and the coaches all say this, right? Every player's different. Every player's needs are different. I actually like knowing it.
That tournament that I coach is at University of Illinois, and there's a huge scoreboard, so you could look up
see it, right?
on one half of the side. You could, if you wanted, could see everything at one time.
Right.
I think some players can handle that, and some players don't.
That's right, and that's a good coach, one who could figure out who needs what. I mean, they're more than just a coach; they're a parent, they're a mentor, and. Things are looking a little different than 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, no, you probably didn't see any possible script that would give USF a sniff at this, but now.
Right. So, an update on court 1. Six, 1, 1, 1. Let's go down to court 6. Tulsa seems to have an injured player. Let's see if we can figure out what has happened. She's leaving the court for an injury timeout. We will get you an update as soon as we have one. That's big for Tulsa. Sishan, who's their number 6 player, was the one who clinched it yesterday. So she was coming back. She was up 2-0 in the second set, having lost the first set. She's scrappy. They don't want to lose one to an injury, but. So on court 1, Tulsa's still up 6-1, 1-all in the second. On court 2, Tulsa won the first set 6-1, but is down 4-2. And a break. And on court 3, Tulsa won the first set, but is down 3-2. And a break. On court 4, Tulsa's up 6-2, down 2-1 in the second, but on serve. And on court 5, USF won that first set 7-5 in the first game of the second set. So all we know at this point are the trainers are attending to Sishan. Take you to court 4 right now, where USF's Vanja Klaric is playing University of Tulsa's Okolova.
And Klaric, which again is a key person for them, is starting to climb her way into this. She just had an abysmal start, getting down the fastest 0-3 of any court here, and now she's starting to climb her way into this. And talk about her match count being low, but she definitely has the, I think, the history for this team of being a top player and someone that can deliver for them, and she is just staying with it until it starts to turn her way.
Well, a lot of times when a top player, an experienced player, is taking a break, right, and they come back, it's just the match practice they need. They have it in their head. They just need the reps, and so maybe that's what has been needed to get through the first set and start the second.
Yeah, she's constructing points quite well now. Moving, behaving, and emoting at a different level.
I tell you, there's a lot of crowd yelling for the Bulls right now and a lot to yell about. So we just got
that's big news.
Injury report for court 6. Sishan has actually retired, has done something to her back, and so she's out. And so that's actually a win for USF. So now they're up 2-love at this point.
And obviously it's not good to lose a match in that manner, but at least for Tulsa, it was a position that they were already losing.
That's right.
You know, it would be a much bigger dagger if one of these other positions, if they'd won the first set in, you know, ended up having a injury retirement. So obviously we hope that Sishan is not seriously injured, but
they still have NCAAs ahead of them.
That's right.
They are currently ranked 34th. USF is not ranked, but if USF wins this title, they get an automatic bid in NCAAs,
which is a critical part of how conference play works in all sports. I mean, you see it in basketball probably the most, where, you know, the Cinderella team wins it and possibly knocks the favorite onto the bubble, and you know, they have to wait till that Sunday night show. And they actually have that Sunday night show, Stacy, now.
Do they?
It's a Tuesday afternoon at 5 o'clock type of show, but
right.
They actually announce the places and the
2nd.
lineups, and so it's a great thing to have that same type of excitement the basketball teams go through for the tennis. But yeah, Tulsa, you know, having the automatic under their belt for winning here is a lot better than waiting for X amount of days to see if they're going to get
Mark,
pushed over.
I got to tell you, for the top 4 courts where Tulsa won all the first sets, they are down in all 4 second sets. On court 1, they're down 2-1 in the second. On court 2, they're down 4-3 in the second. Serving, actually USF is serving right now to go up 5-3 in court 2. On court 3, they're down 3-2. Tulsa is. USF is up a break, and on court 4, USF is up 4-1 in the second set.
That's right. So I have just one word for you.
Warrior.
Yeah.
Is that what you were thinking?
Warrior's the word. That's what Coach Moros is.
Tell you what, she's on to something. Wow. Tulsa needs to hold here to stay in this second set. They really need one of their top 4 courts to come out with a point sooner than later.
Important that Donda Ready tries to get a hold here.
Yeah, Data Ready needs a hold. All right, 40-15, Data Ready still trying to hold serve.
Yeah, this is a must hold. She has to get this game, especially with the wind at her back. She doesn't want to allow Cardozo to come to the other side with a 5-2 and the balls and the wind.
That's it.
That's not a great choice on that return.
But I think Data Ready will take it anyway. So she's now up 6-1, down 4-3. Still down a break, but hopefully can fight back a little bit. So you're seeing in the top right the score on court 2. Lena Bonchak serving for University of Tulsa against Besanova for South Florida. USF was a... Whoops.
That's one heck of a volley. Wow. I mean, a shoestring volley on the run. She makes that thing look.
Both these ladies are seniors, and I just believe there's something, if you've played all 4 years, that when you know that your time in college is nearing and your career could be ending, if you're not going on to play pro, you're looking at the top left is court 2, top right is court 4, and bottom left is court 5. Court 2, top left, Lena Bonchong serving game point and set point. She needs to hold right here to stay in the second set, and it's a second serve. Great volley, great point, big time tennis.
Yeah, to be able to close out that game, move the ball around and sneak in and take the out of the air. Very smart.
So we'll see how Lena Bonchong comes in and really takes that ball out of the air and closes it out. I mean, that's actually, looks like her doubles play from earlier in the day.
It's awesome. Love to see that. Having a high forehand volley that you can play from the middle of the court on high balls like that, it's a tactical convenience. Now with the quality of the ground strokes that these players all have, to know that you can take care of business on those floaters is a big source of confidence in terms of being an all-court player.
I want to give a shout out to Kyle, the cameraman that you see by the umpire stand. He's been all over the facility this week getting clips and interviews and bringing them to us on the digital network and American.org, and he's done just a yeoman's job. All right, so Besanova going back to serve for the second set. Lena Bonchong, a senior from Thailand, trying to stay in it. Besanova, she plays #1 doubles. She's the one who plays with Augie, and she's from Russia, and they say she's the most vocal player on the court. And having seen her play this week, would you agree with that assessment?
I mean, she is. She definitely gives it.
She back in, you were talking earlier about South Florida being in the finals against Houston in 2013, 2014, and she was the one who actually clinched that match. So she knows what big time tennis is and how important this situation is. Take you back to court 3. Tulsa's up 6-1, down 4-3. Deuce point, break point, or a point for USF to go up 5-3 in the second set. Wow.
Great tennis.
She needed that. She came through this. USF is up 5-3 now in the second set there.
Yeah, she is ready to do battle. She has no problem with how long this is going to take. I mean, she just rolls up her, well, she doesn't have sleeves, but she just rolls up her sleeves and just gets after it. This is like a tug of war,
She had that marathon match yesterday with Sharapova and stayed in there and wound up clinching for USF. So
sure did. Yeah, she's now. I don't think she's changed much of what she's been doing tactically. I just think she's dialed in emotionally and passionately. And she's just really behaving like she wants this set and wants to make this match, go the distance. And Dotteretti is doing fine as well. She just seems to be trying a little harder to create when sometimes the things aren't there.
Right. And on court 2, Bosanova just got broken back, and now it's 5-all. She had a huge lead to take that second set, and she's let it slip away. And on court 4, USF is up 5-2 in the second, 15-all, so they may be able to pick up a set there.
That's a good ball with the way the wind's blowing. See that one? I mean, Dot already got it back, but you can see how the ball is really moving from right to left on the screen. So that's a good shot there that Dot already just used, and that draw the error. So basically for Cardoza, she wants to take a forehand cross court, and Dot already wants to take a backhand cross court or an inside-out forehand from these positionings. And they're going to get the support of the crosswind. Sometimes it's misleading. The wind often, all tennis courts are set up north-south, but when you get close to bodies of water, you get a lot of east-west movement as well. So right now, Cardoza has the wind at her back, but the crosswind is blowing from right to left across our screen.
And we're around a lot of bodies of water.
Yes, we are, including a very
some man-made and
very
some
cool man-made lake just right outside the back of the court here.
We haven't even talked about this facility.
What a place.
Wow. So on court 2, Bosanova just held to go up 6-5.
Dot already serving up 30-15. Great ball. Oh, let's see. Overrule.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought that one was on. I thought that was a good overrule.
What's the ruling? How many times if you get overruled?
They keep track of it, so when you get your second over, the first overrule is just an overrule. The second overrule is a warning. The third overrule is a point for the other player. Fourth is a game. Fifth, you get disqualified.
To bring you up to date on all the courts. That cheering is for court number 1. Roman Dominguez just broke Laskatova to go up 3-2 in the second. They're having a battle. Every game is no ad.
They're having a battle. They're getting after it, and Roman Dominguez is not letting this thing go without a complete, utter battle to the end.
Right. And you knew that was going to happen.
Like I said before, I think that the doubles point going to South Florida makes this a barn burner, which is what we've got, and this one will go to the very end. Oh, here comes the young lady with the back issue walking by us right now.
Kind of limping. But hopefully she's going to be okay. She is walking, so that's a pretty good sign.
Yeah.
So while we're watching the coaches talk to their players on court 3, bring you over to court 2. Bosanova serving, love 15. Up 6-5 in the second set. But down a set, 6-1. Wow, she's questioned that ball. I'd like to see that replay, Mark.
Inside the line. No way.
I think I saw this as good.
Oh my God.
Yeah, this one's good.
Yeah, I don't even think it's touched too much of the line, but you know what? That's college tennis. You got to blow it off and keep moving on.
It just came in a big time though, because 15 all and 30 love is a big score when you're trying to close out a set, and that's why that.
And she's against the wind.
Yeah.
She can watch this broadcast later and see it for herself.
Yeah, we don't have the shot spot technology. We have everything else here at the National Campus, but that's about $90,000 a court. I think we'll have to put a requisition order in the budget in a couple of years. What's tough is Lena Bonchong sometimes will mix in the slice forehand to try to throw her opponent off. I've seen some instances where when she starts going into that mix with the chip forehand, sometimes I think it throws her off. And she actually subsequently, like a ball or two later, maybe misses a forehand on her own.
All right, 30 all. All right, 30-40, so break point for Lena Bonchong, or like they like to call her, Dobby, to tie this up at 6 all. She's got 2 chances. Like to have this first one here if at all possible.
Well played. Good concentration. Stayed low off of the chip. Didn't overplay that shot. The right combination of power and topspin to get the job done there.
Just me, or is it Lena Bonchong look like she's slowed down a little bit?
Pardon? Looks like she's
slowed down a little bit. Watch this. She didn't even, at this point in the match, did she just get caught wrong-footed, or?
Looked like she was waiting for the ball to come back cross-court. When you chip it low to someone, you would expect that they would come back cross-court and play the percentages and not go for a winner up the line, but it was well played.
All right. So USF takes that second set.
That's a
7-5.
big shift right there. From not being in a breaker to getting another set for USF. USF is doing a great job in the second sets in this tennis court across all 6.
All right, court 1, USF is up now 3-2 after losing the first set. We just saw court 2. They're up. They just split set starting a third. On court 3, it's 5 all in the second after Tulsa won the first set 6-1. And on court 4, USF is up 5-4 after losing the first set 6-2. And on court 5, USF is 3 all in the second after winning the first set 7-5. Let's not forget that they had to retire number 6 at Tulsa. So as far as the totals of points, USF leads 2-0. And it is the first 1 to 4, just as a reminder. Doubles counted as 1 point, and then each of the singles matches counts as a point. So considering Tulsa won all the first sets on most of the courts, I think USF has done an unbelievable job battling back. take you to court 1, where USF is on upper break. The second set 3-2. So Roman Dominguez is not going away. She knows what this point means. She's beaten Laskatova earlier in the season.
Missed it. And it's one of the first times I'd say Laskatova has showed a little bit of disgust with herself. And the volunteer assistant is the one that's been spending all the time with her. Neither of the head or assistant coaches working with her in this match, but.
And that could be by design. You know, we've talked to.
I've seen it sometimes. It's relationship driven.
Exactly.
Whoever, feels more comfortable with a certain person at their court.
I must say, having played college tennis and knowing that my coach had to deal with 9 different personalities on any given day at any given time, I give a lot of props out to those coaches who can do that and do it well and don't have pride and allow their assistants to take over when they're not maybe as effective with a player. And that's part of what makes a team successful, are those relationships and knowing how to get
right
your
now,
head.
this look at this, the disgust, all of the body language post-loss point she's showing is just fueling Roman Dominguez. She is so dialed in. She has never let this thing go, even though she was getting pretty much embarrassed in the first set of this. She stayed with it long enough for now the tide to turn, and now we're serving 2-4 here in the second set. But it's different than 2-4. It's 2-4 with a really frustrated Leskova right now.
Whoa. She skied that one.
Yeah, she went for the jump backhand. That's a style point shot in tennis now. Here comes the dropper. And now here comes the lob.
Wow.
Got a chance to take out some of that anguish on that ball there.
But I'm with you. She's got to change her look and demeanor on the court, or else.
Particularly in this matchup, because the other person is just going to fuel it. So I'm not a big fan of the drop shot with the wind at your back, and then that underspin lob just didn't get off. And
you know, not just for herself. Her teammates are looking down. If they see that, then they feed off that, or maybe they think she's losing if they don't really know the score. And that's where this team concept comes into play. So on court 2, they took a bathroom break between sets and start back up in a minute. Love.
Just wide. Yeah, when I watch in the pro tennis matches, I'm amazed still how often, you know,
the calls are challenged and the players are wrong. I mean, the players are still wrong more than they're right. I mean, whatever it is, the range of 29 to 37% or whatever it is that the players are correct on challenges. Some of them are critical challenges that affect matches and titles and money. But at this level, yeah, I still feel like there's a lot more challenges that are unfounded. But we've had a few positive overrules, so I think the referees have done a good job in some of these matches of handling the situations.
Leskotova holds on and still down a break, but she's not going away either. I think it might come down to a third set. Let's take you over to court 3. Tulsa won the first set, 6-1, is down 6-5 in the second, and now comes up set point for USF, double set point. As Cardoza serves at 40-30. Second serve. Big second serve.
It's tough. All of her patterns, she likes to run the inside-out forehand from the middle. But right now, the forehand that would do the damage from where she's standing would be the cross-court one. She's just a little over on the grip, and she just likes to play the inside-out one so much. But if she could take one of these and go the other way, she'd have Mother Nature on her side and maybe be able to close out one of the points a little bit faster.
And Mark, this is a huge point. It's either set point or break point.
Yeah, we had that same situation happen at number 2 singles.
Right. So Cardoza would like to follow in Besanova's footsteps and win it right here. Of the day. Wow, that was huge. She took a moon ball situation and turned it into a flat ball and went from defense to offense.
Yeah, that's one hell of a point. Cardoza is hitting the moon balls with the wind at her back, but this is the #1 shot that Dot already was looking for. It's the one that works against the wind right now. The hard inside out shot is the play whenever the players are on the near side of our screen. So she waited that out for quite some time until she got that opportunity ball. And that just shows you, and most kids have gone through that in juniors, moments like that where both players don't want to miss, and there's a little bit of a keep away, high ball.
Playing not to win instead of playing to lose kind of thing.
You would hope that Cardoza at some point would have moved forward and taken an opportunity ball and looked to try to do something with it, and she just wasn't able to.
All right, so we got a tiebreaker.
Yeah, this is dangerous because very quickly this could go from split set situation into an actual victory for Tulsa. So this is a critical scoreboard moment here.
Tulsa takes the first point. It's up 1-love. Oh, let's take you over to court 4. It is double match point for Tulsa. Huge. This could be Tulsa's first point on the scoreboard.
And there it is.
Thought I'd see a little more excitement out of that, getting on the scoreboard, but
Okolova, in a dramatic fashion, gets the first point on the board. It's a big, big point for Tulsa.
well, having not played that many matches, being out with some injuries and pink eye may have ultimately hurt USF, but nonetheless, they're still up 2-1. She's off the court knowing she needs to cheer her team on now. One all in the tiebreaker on court 3.
Cardozo 3-1. And Stacy, when you played, did you like to have the first 6 points of the breaker with the wind or against the wind?
I liked it with.
You liked it with?
I did like it with. I hit a lot of topspin on my forehand. I sliced my backhand. I can control myself in the wind. Also, I love to come to net. So if I was with the wind, there was a better chance of me getting to net because my opponents would hit a shorter ball and I could. So
you take it first, not to have, because you rarely finish a breaker without changing ends, but you felt you could get the 4-2 or the 5-1 because of that strategic advantage.
That's right. And also, you know, there's something to be said leading when you're switching sides, and then all of a sudden you can hit out. I actually found it easier to go from with the wind and trying to control my shots. And when you're against the wind, you can hit out a lot more. When you start out hitting out as much as you can, sometimes it's hard to bring it back when you're with the wind.
Yeah, good point.
So 4-1 USF right now. Dataretti's got to stay in there if she's got a chance. Just a brief update on court 1. USF has come back in the second set, now leading 5-3 after losing the first set. Seemed kind of like a lazy forehand. What does Dataretti need to do right now, Mark? 4-2, she's down. Momentum seems to be a little bit more with Cardozo.
Yeah, but she wants to hit, so she needs to, you know, just the very first point, be careful about overplaying. When you change ends, it's easy to make the unforced error on the very first point, just not making that mental adjustment with the conditions. So play a composed first point, rather, and then just start trying to play forehand to forehand as much as possible because the conditions favor her, and that's, you know, it's her money put away shot anyway. So I'd encourage the rallies on that half of the court. Be mindful of this very first point, playing with some margin. You see, I try to. Oh, see, Cardozo's not dumb. She's trying to play the backhand side.
Wow. It's She's not happy there.
No, because she had plenty of time to execute that, and she just missed it in the middle of the net. Good non-dominant hand usage there. Switch the racket out of her hand. The entire Tulsa team plays with the Babolat rackets. Really interesting. I can't say I see that too often across the country covering college tennis, that the entire starting lineup would all play with the same tennis racket. See that shot, it's not the best shot. It's not her shot either.
You think she needs to keep more towards the middle?
I think she should be trying to hit forehand cross courts. There she was trying to loft one and play sort of a measured, safe inside-out roll. That's what Cardoza does. I just think she's out of character right now. With this side, she's not the high roll safe one. She should be playing more even and hitting with the aggression.
She's got 3 set points right here. Also on court 5, actually, Tulsa has a chance to split sets right now with 3 set points as well.
That's the cross-court forehand that I've been asking for the last 10 minutes. That's the one she should stick with. Works well with her game, and she has the help from the wind. That ball just takes off after it hits that location.
While they're getting ready to serve, to give you an update, it is 7-5 USF on court 4, but 5-4 Tulsa, double set point. Oh, and Tulsa takes a second set down there. So, sets on court 5 as well. Questioning the call, but
no doubt that's out. It's a good 6 inches out.
Yes, indeed. So they've split sets on court 3, and we're going to a third set there. We're in a third set on court 2. Going to a third set on court 5. Take you back to court 1. Tulsa won the first set 6-1. Is down 5-4 in the second set. And it's 15-love for Roman Dominguez. He just hit a huge forehand winner to take that point, and I think she knows if she can take this to a third set, she's got a good chance.
Overplayed.
Is there a direct link between the importance of a point and the loudness of a grunt?
Sometimes that correlation is 1 for 1. That's a fair statement, Stacey.
Well thought. So now she's serving 15-30. I would consider this one of the biggest points of this match. She goes down 15-40.
Yeah, I think that in no-ad scoring, 15-30 is an incredibly...
It does take away the 3 points.
It's a swing.
I think at this point they're all just hoping every ball is in.
It's tough for me. I was blocked by this. There's a little bit of a pole here.
I thought it was out.
I was blocked. I got my sighting. That's why replays are great tools. That's out.
That was monster tennis.
And she's going big. I mean, she's just high roll, high roll, high roll. And then if she gets a clean look at something, then she goes big. And it's not a bad way to play that side of the court. Because you're trying to allow, instead of you doing all of the work, you're letting a little bit of the wind do some of the work until you get the one that really gives you a better chance of closing the door.
Well, and one of the things that I love absolutely hands down about no-ad, if not for anything else, it makes every point big, and it makes a player stay mentally tough for every single point. You can't let up. Down 15-40. Now she's back to deuce. One more break point for Leskatova.
Yeah, see, as these matches start unfolding, I mean, really the critical moment for this match right now is the moment that we're in at number 1. And then it just leapfrogs to another court. So right now, this is the biggest moment for this duel. Does USF push this to another third set? There it is. She does it.
Well, here we go.
Everything is in the third set now.
Right. But I got to tell you, even though it's all squared up and equal when you start that third set, a little bit of the momentum going to USF right now.
Well, the longer this thing goes, the more you feel like this team warrior concept might be.
Here it is again, set point.
Yeah, the crosswind's just going to blow that just wide. Leskova just has to regroup. Her tennis hasn't changed a lot, but when some of the long points and just the nature of how long it took to get it done started agonizing her to some degree.
Well, Roman Dominguez too is she has stayed out there and just battled and battled. And
she got in her face a little bit.
correct.
You know, she definitely did that. But see, now as you get to the three setters, now you're becoming which one is the closest to being done, which obviously triggers the scoreboard again. So right now, number 2 singles is the closest to being done in that 3-2 in the third with USF up a break. They have a chance to possibly put their 3rd point on the board, of which they may only need 1 of the last 3. Yeah, this one is going to the wire, and now we have the trainer working with Leskova a little bit, working on her right leg.
With that knee that's wrapped, that's got the little wrapping underneath it.
It's just a physical match. I mean, they're playing long points. They're having a lot of counterattacking each other's power, then loading, and then a lot of covering wide balls on the run. So it's tough physically for both players. And Coach Morrow said that Roman Dominguez, you know, you look at her and you're not quite sure exactly what her game is per se, but the comment was that she always finds a way.
Well, and she really, you know, that first set, I mean, you can't take anything away from Laskatova for playing well, but she made a lot of mistakes, and she was able to bring that back in and turn around that second set. So it's 2-1 right now in points. The USF. Court 2 split sets, and USF is up 3-2 in the third and a break. Court 3 is starting a third set, and Court 5 is 1-all in the third set. So the courts that are still on, it's pretty dead even. Take you back to Court 2. There's been a medical timeout for Lena Bonchong. It's like her legs are being attended to. Maybe some cramps or...
Here we go.
Back on Court 3.
Let's go, boys.
Game point and break point. And if you're Cordoza, you want to hold here to start the third.
You absolutely do. I always was trying so hard. And then junior tennis is different. You know, you get a 10-minute break and you're kind of sitting down talking to a child, and then they have to try to serve with new balls and play. College tennis now, they've evolved. It used to be just like juniors where the first 2 sets were
double fault for the break.
Yeah, well, Cordoza goes for her second serve a lot, and that's one of the challenges with that. But in juniors, you know, the balls are dead in the second set, and then you get a new can for the third. But in college tennis, a few years ago, they changed, and then they started going to brand new cans of balls for each set in college. And I think the offensive players and people that have good aggression, but still ball control, are handling the early stages of the third sets a lot better.
And Mark, what a better time to tell you congratulations on your upcoming induction into the USPTA Coaching Hall of Fame.
Oh, well, thanks. That's a
huge honor.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Well deserved.
I mean, I can't believe that I've been at it for 25 years, but the wind keeps it in, and then she gets it done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's well done. Nice poach there. But yeah, I can't believe how fast 25 years has gone. It's been an amazing ride, and I've seen lots of students and families to thank for something like that. It doesn't happen that easy. It takes a village. And lots of people have helped me along the way, but obviously very appreciative and proud of that. So thanks, Stacey.
Obviously helped a lot of people along the way as well. But 25 years of coaching, you're only 35, so you started pretty young.
Yeah. Oh, that's a great job.
I like the way she's playing.
She's
I really
back
do.
to work, but sometimes you need a little bit of help. That double fault, giving her a game, gives her a little bit of a boost, and then she's back at it. That's a nice job.
Court one. Dominguez just took that first game on a no-ad point, so she's up 1-0 and a break. We are going to come down to the end and see how the doubles point has played into this match.
Oh, wow. Inside out overhead, falling backwards. Just what
a coach is. That's what you teach your juniors?
Yes, just completely, just the way we drew it up on the chalkboard. Well, that's the right move to sneak like that. The moment you see someone doing that, and wow.
So 40-15 to go up to Love in the third.
Yeah, this one's going to the wire, Stace.
Well, I have to tell you, watching both teams all week, you know, we talked a lot about each of them having the depth that they have. That's what's allowed them, both of them, to stay in and keep pushing and rely on their teammates. There's no sure win down the line. And, you know, sometimes some of the better teams in the country, you know, have the depth, and you lose sight that number 6 point is just as important as number 1. So, you know, a team of no ranked players but great depth sometimes be, on a team concept, as good if not better than a team with 2 or 3 top players, and that's it. Let's take you to court 2, where the momentum has completely shifted into USF's favor. They are up 4-2 in the third. 40 love 40.
Well, what's been great about it is that the coaches have gotten to Besanova, and she's now playing. Oh, I just jinxed her. I was just about to tell her that she wasn't going for broke all the time. She was actually building points before she was finishing. But she's tried to hit behind Lena Bongchong a little bit. She's tried to play a few high balls with the wind at her back, which she never does. And she's also come to the net a bit. So she's showing a bit of a diverse portfolio instead of just sort of the rock'em sock'em crush down the line show. And it's paid some dividends to give her this position right now with 3 game points here for a commanding 5-2 lead in the third.
She guessed right.
And it's hard for her to lose a point like that. She doesn't like this whole like pushing my backhand, and it's out of character for her. She's clearly taking one from the team here, trying to win a hustle point like that. She would much rather take matters in her own hands and hit a dictating shot. So this is going to be a tricky decision for her now. She just lost that point, kind of doing the quote-unquote strategy of the moment that she's been coached to do. But now she has a good look at this. Is she going to let it rip or not? Well, she gets a second ball, which makes it even more tempting to let this one fly. What do you think, Stacy?
What's my call?
Is she going to rip this, or is she going to play it safe?
I think she's going to rip it down the line. Right on the line. She's looking for that short ball to attack.
That's the one that the wind's going to help.
Yep.
The cross-court one. That's the one that gets the help. And then it creates the opportunity ball. And she gets it done. She gets it done. Oh no, it's well inside the line.
Well, we saw the coach called it good. So Coach Dean knew it was good and made sure. So court 1, to bring you up to date, USF is up 2-love in the second, upper break. Court 3, Tulsa's up 2-love in the third, upper break. And on court 5, USF is up 3-2 on serve, upper break.
Yeah, I just feel that Lishkova has to come back at 1. I think she has to come back at 1. I don't think that they can lose her position and win this.
I think you're right.
It's not me being a mathematical genius, but
someone call you that. Let's take you back to court 2. Lena Bonchak on the far side for Tulsa. Besanova on the near side serving. She sure would like to win this game and put another point on the board for USF, and they would go up 3-1.
That's a good finish there. That's a nice job on a tough shot. That ball was curving into her face. She was jammed on the point of contact. It's not an easy shot to
She acted like
away.
It was routine.
Well, yeah, it was curving into her face, and then she just kind of sideswiped it. Nice job on that. There's that shot. My gosh. She makes that down the line off of the chip. And she's done that a few times today.
But I got to tell you, she does it on these crazy big points. And she just comes
very
through.
composed, but that's clean. And it's great technique. Simple open stance forehand. I mean, great balance. I mean,
She also is hitting with a lot more authority.
I think
she's up.
I think that well, it's not just up. She's against the wind, so she can really hit out and know that her shots aren't going to fly long. That's sort of an emotional safety net for a player like her.
That's right.
But that was a big shot at a big moment. Because now Lena Bongchong is just trying to like bluff a little bit, roll a little bit, and then sneak.
She's got to get up there.
And she handles it well. I mean, this is really high level, good with the win and good against the win execution by both players. Hats off to both girls. That overhead is dropping fast. That lob is dying, and now she's got to scoot, 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 boom. And she still had to kind of duck and almost reach down, like it was almost bang height when she snapped it off. It wasn't a high overhead.
Well, also, don't forget, these two girls are seniors. They know what's on the line. I'll go back to saying it could be the end of their college career, this match. For USF, they're not going to NCAAs unless they win. So they're done.
No, it's a good point, and I'm going to defer to you on that, Stacey, about that feeling, because I think if the senior part gives you the experience, but knowing that this could be your last one, I don't know if that calms you versus pressures you, but they are certainly handling this moment well.
I'll tell you my thoughts in a minute.
No, that's not the one to do it.
All right, so now it's 5-3. USF has to stay there. So it's a great point about whether it calms or makes you more nervous. And that's the one thing that I will say about team tennis, college tennis being a team that, let's watch this and then we'll get back to it. So what I was saying was that I think, you can only do so much on your court. At the end of the day, you have to take care of business on your court. But when it does come down to the senior-itis, you kind of want to go over to the other courts and tell the freshman and the sophomore how important it is. And the intensity does change a little bit, but...
Yeah, I don't know. I just have a very small, limited experience in the summers doing a little bit of this, coaching this type of format. And I don't want to tell anybody about the importance. I talk to them about that long before we hit the court, because they should know the importance of what we're playing for.
They're going to feed off your body language, your demeanor. I mean, at this point in the season, the chemistry is there, one way or the other. They know each other. They know the personalities. So you're not teaching them anything new at this point. And I am sure that huddle that we saw at the beginning of the broadcast, there was something like, let's take one for the seniors. If it wasn't verbal, they knew it, regardless. Love 15. Above 30 now. Vesanova 2 points from UFS, and up number 3 point. One-way win. And also on court 5, just to let you guys know, USF is up 4-2. And on court 1, Tulsa and USF are tied 2-all in the third.
Big.
This is one of those times that we've talked about all weekend long.
That's an enormous forehand at a critical, just a critical time.
I was going to say, talk about Lena Bonchong's play here, but one of the things
ice in her veins. I mean, that was stone cold.
Stone cold senior.
That's like a stone cold Federer or something right now.
But you know, you and I have talked about endlessly about staying on the court and just letting your teammates know that you're still out there, you're still trying. So as long as she can prolong this, benefits everybody.
Good defense by Lena Bonchong. She was behind in that point and was able to neutralize with good movement and use of the wind. Yeah, that was great defense.
And on court 5, Tulsa just won a no-ad point to bring it closer to 4-3. So now USF is serving, still up a break, but 4-3 instead of 5-2.
And they're quietly running away from number 3 singles, up 3-1 40 love here, which is really important.
For Tulsa.
Absolutely. Because right now, Tulsa's still down 2-1 here.
Point out we're over 3 hours in this match, and it has been every bit of an exciting 3 hours. Wow. Or 1 on court 3 for Tulsa. And I haven't seen Cordoza do this all week, but she definitely looks down. Big point at 30 all. Court 1, court 2, top left, top right is court 3. We're going to change over right now where Tulsa leads 4-1, and bottom left is court 5. USF leads 4-3 on serving. All in the third set.
Drop shot chip winner.
In the wind, with the wind.
Drop shot chip winner. Unbelievable.
Is that one of those shots the coach goes, no, 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 yes.
No, and they're still stunned. It's just, but it's not out of character for her to do that because she integrates the slice forehand quite often in her game. So for her to hit that deep or short, there's a disguise factor there. And I just think that Vesanova was actually physically tired. It's harder to play the same point against the wind than it is with.
Well, I wanted to point out just about Vesanova. She walked to the back and she was shaking out her legs. So I think some fatigue is setting in.
I mean, it's emotional that's connected to physical and something like this.
ball rolled behind the court, and I think Bessanova saw it, but
yeah, but she was in good. She was in good position
Yeah,
on the
she's
point,
not
so
gonna
she
call
didn't
it.
want to. And the referee didn't see it, so it's too late.
all right. So match point on court number 2, your top left screen. This is for USF's number 3 point. It doesn't get much bigger than this. Kicker out wide.
Oh, I don't care as long as it goes in the box. I just didn't want a second serve there.
I was Bessanova. I'd take 3 steps in right now to intimidate her on that second serve.
Yeah, but she can't afford to do the home run play that she likes. She's got to have to play the. Crosswind.
Oh my goodness.
Crosswind.
All day long.
But see, you measure that and you think it's a routine cross court, but it's not right now. There's no such thing as a routine cross court with the wind blowing this strong.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, she measures that like it's a normal cross court, right? And then just, oh my gosh, and the wind just takes it.
All right. So USF will serve it out on court 2 in the third set, 5-4.
It's tough. I can't hurt her. You know, you can't fault her per se for trying to hit a cross-court ground stroke that may have opened up an opportunity, but the unforced error there.
Right, and Coach Christina's running over to court 2 to talk to Bessanova to get her mentally back in this game, try to close it out. Now we're on court 5.
Yeah, here comes a big forehand right now, and that forehand gives USF another one-game away opportunity for another point.
Right.
So critical. So now 1 game away at 2 and at 5. This is a matter of minutes, or it could be a matter of another half an hour, depending on how this shakes out.
And on court 2, they're serving for the set. On court 5, Tulsa's serving right now to stay in the set. But we've seen Zanga too many times today pump her fist. She's doing a lot right.
Great job by Zinga getting the point started with the first serve. I mean, with the first return in play, rather.
Left 15.
You know, I try to train the students to do more of a deep middle return, and that's what you see, I think, at the top level on the tour. You know, the Murrays and the Djokovic's are not trying to do too much with hitting the balls on the outside of the court. And there, she ended up losing her balance as she was producing that backhand, and that caused a shank error. Matula's got to stay completely dialed in here. All her choices, ideas have to be based on what she's learned about this match over the course of the last couple of hours. And that, I don't know what you can do I don't know what you can do about that. That was a quality return within a foot of the line. She tried to defend that and get it back deep, and then just an unload on the cross-court forehand, which is the money play from that side.
We're going to try to keep you updated on 2 and 5 at the same time, but right now.
We're staying on 5 here, and we got a chance. We got a chance to. That one's going to probably fly out, and it does. You know, it's definitely out. The wind, she barely tapped that, and then it goes.
Oh my gosh. And it is triple, well actually 4 match points on court 2 for Bessanova. a forehand. Is triple match point for USF right here. Besanova serving to take USF up 3-1.
No.
And Besanova takes court 2. 1-6, 7-5, 6-4 to give USF their number 3rd point. And they are 1 point away
And the scary
from
thing,
the championship.
folks, is that at 5, Zinga had a no-ad point. So this would have been simultaneous match point. If Zinga had won that, this would have been the team. So Zinga loses that and now has to serve for the match at 5-4 in the 3rd.
Wow.
And number 3, Dada Reddy. Dada Reddy just gets the job done at number 3 now.
It is 3-1 USF, 3-2 USF. They are 1 point away from clinching this championship. Bring you up to date on court 3. Data Ready just won 6-1 in the 3rd to give Tulsa their 2nd point. It is coming down to the wire. This is a huge, could be a huge upset. Number 7 seed USF coming in like a fresh new team. On court 1, Laskatova is tied 3-all with Roman Dominguez.
But it may not matter, folks. Zinga just started off the game with a slice out wide ace. So either the sophomore from Zimbabwe closes the door here, or we end up in a bloodbath at number 1 to solve this.
It's 15-all. Zinga serving up 5-4.
Big time hitting. So, I mean, Matula rather, she is crushing the ball there with the wind at her back. Absolutely fearless. Assistant coach Linka Besanova is just bringing her all of the positive energy from the side. You know, she doesn't get up to the short ball. She breaks posture. And Lincoln Borisova, the assistant, she was a tough player for Baylor years back, and was the type of player that would handle these moments with, poise and ease. And she's handling this situation quite well, managing her player.
I'll tell you, as two sophomores, they're handling the situation quite well.
This is a tight match, 7-5, 6-4, and 5-4.
And 30 all. At this point, humongous. Oh, and an ace.
She goes bomb. Is this Pete Sampras? Like, what am I watching? Serena before maternity leave? What's going on here?
Wow. Double match point for the championship.
I mean, that's a great serve. She is not.
I think the girls are going to explode. If Zenga, we're going to see double fist pumps. She takes this.
She just goes big and makes it. That's why.
Oh, my goodness. South Florida wins. They are your 2017 American Athletic Conference champions. Zenga clinching it on court 5, 7-6, 4-6, 6-4.
Yeah, just had a weird feeling after that doubles point that they could find a way to 3.
Athletic Conference Women's Tennis Championship match. The USF Bulls take the victory with a final tally of 4 points to 2. Be sure to stick around for the championship.
And it's an amazing
South
display of, well, it's just a great team win.
Well, South Florida will head to the NCAAs, and you know what, Mark? They were the best team today.
Yeah, the margins are slim and stuff like this, but
let's show you the clinching point. Zenga with a huge serve.
I mean, great locations, and that's why.
It's out.
Great locations here. She hit 3 huge serves in the court this game to close out.
Everybody in Zimbabwe hopefully is watching and going nuts as well. They should be very proud of her play today from start to finish.
And she's the MVP because not only did she saved the doubles point.
She clinched there.
Down match point. She cut across on that backhand volley. That was the difference in the doubles at third doubles, and obviously was the closer here against a veteran in Matula, who's done a really nice job for their team all year long. I mean, Matula is.
Yeah, I mean, Matula dual match is 14-2. So she's, no walkover. I mean, she has been solid and somebody they've been able to count on. And look, we're going to take a break and we'll be back to wrap up the match. You're watching.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
The University of South Florida is a regional powerhouse with global significance, leading advances that are changing the world. Now a leader among the nation's universities in research, healthcare, and just being cool. The place where young men and women train to become the best.
This is where the Bulls run.
University of Tulsa, a top 50 private institution.
We are American. The conference of opportunity. The opportunity to chase dreams. The opportunity to make your mark and change the game. Because that's power. We are power.
Gentlemen, please direct your attention to court number 1 as we are about to begin the Women's
Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference Championship. We're going to throw it down to Haley Out, who's the winning coach of USF, Christina Mora.
Coach, congratulations on an outstanding week here. 4 days of tennis. You were a 7 seed. Your team was a bunch of warriors, I think it was safe to say. How proud of you are them in this moment?
I mean, I couldn't be more proud. This is just accumulation of all the toughness, all the adversity that we faced, and we just battled through it, and we were able to come out the winner today.
In your first year as the head coach last year, you made it to this final, but it didn't end quite this way. You said yesterday it's a bit of a redemption match, naturally. What was the plan heading into today? What was the message to the team, just wanting them to fight back from what they weren't able to achieve last year?
Really, we just figured it was our day today. It was our day, and that's what we focused on. We focused on us and the things that we need to accomplish on each court, and we wanted it to be our day today.
That doubles point was pretty impactful there, and that was a grind on 3 when they were able to clinch that point for you all today. How did you help coach them through that?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, you know, it has to be all about heart and not necessarily about mind. It's not really about tennis anymore. It's just about being able to really go after it when they needed to, and they did.
Nicole had an outstanding week here at this conference tournament. Every day she played her part in singles. She was undefeated in doubles. What are your thoughts on her performance here this week?
I mean, Nicole actually said that if she wanted the match to come down to her, and she proved that she wanted that role, and I'm so proud of her.
After the adversity your team has faced this season, the injuries, the illnesses, not the season that you'd hoped for, but your team stepped up when it counted most, and now you guys are headed to the NCAA tournament. What did you learn about your team this season?
Just how tough we are. I mean, we always knew we were talented, but wasn't really sure how tough we were, and we just proved that.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Congratulations. Go enjoy this one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Stacey?
Thanks, Haley. We're watching the trophy presentation. University of Tulsa receiving their awards.
American Athletic Conference Women's Tennis Champions, the Bulls from USF.
And the boys deserve a little bit of credit. Hopefully the boys can get a couple of meals for some of that cheering. They stayed here, you know, considering that the boys have to come back and play their final tomorrow. They grinded this entire match out and supported their team for 4 hours.
They should have taken some notes for this grinding. Hopefully can implement it their own way tomorrow.
And senior Haley Grillo.
Love that. Could not be happier for these seniors. Really outstanding. They all mean something to this team on and off the court.
And that's the beauty of conference play as well.
Please come forward to accept your championship award.
Having that idea that even though you may not have had the best season, that there's still a road to the NCAAs.
Well, and you know what, at the end of the day, Mark, we all know in any sport, this is what they're going to remember. They're not going to know their dual record this year. That's your outstanding player of the tournament for sure, and especially today. Punching doubles and singles.
Roman Dominguez.
Yeah, it was important that she kept battling, and even though her match didn't finish, she meant a lot to this dual point, in my opinion, that won after losing a quick first set.
You know, 1 through 4.
Come down to her.
Tulsa won all first sets at 1 through 4, and just couldn't keep it going.
Jessica Cortez Chavez.
Yeah, felt like she was done like 2 days ago with the retirement that she had, winning 6-1 and being in the early stage of the second, and Sean having to retire with a back injury.
Haley Grillo.
Look, you got to give Tulsa props. They are clapping for each of the players, and that's great sportsmanship. And that starts with Coach Dean.
Absolutely. That is a point that's well taken and should be. should be respected.
Absolutely.
Being champions is one thing. Being on the wrong side of that and still having, the right type of decorum in class says a lot for the program, for the school, Tulsa athletics.
She played tough today.
Assistant coach Ariel Gaitan.
Yeah, she did a heck of a job, and Coach Gaitan was really gracious yesterday in his interview with us, and I think that he's been a key inspiration.
He's been, I think they look at each other as partners, right? They feed off each other. Should take a moment to salute her efforts. She really has started to turn this program around starting last year, and mentioned that she feels a little competitive with the men.
That's right.
To keep up with them.
And the program that Matt Hill started, that now Ashley Fisher and Jimmy Harris have inherited and are doing an excellent job with. She wants to be part of that same type of tradition on the women's side of the program. And you see that a lot across college tennis now. I've seen a fair amount of program. Right now, Ohio State comes to mind, where the women's team now is now in the top 5 just like the men. Those types of competitive synergies relative to the success of one program fueling another has been almost commonplace now.
Right.
And that's well deserved.
Yeah, absolutely. She clinched in the doubles. She clinched in the singles. Even when she let a point slip by that, should have had, she kept fighting, kept going, and honestly, as much as her play on the court, her energy really, really resonated throughout the entire team, and they fed off of it.
The number 3 seed Knights of UCF and the number 1 seed Bulls of USF.
So tomorrow, UCF, USF in the men's for the championship.
Have a good evening.
Going to go out on a limb and make a pick?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say whoever wins the doubles point. Because I still think that going for the hard way is so difficult.
All right, we're going to send it down to Haley Outen right now, who is with the most outstanding player of the tournament.
That's right, Stacey, the most outstanding player of the tournament, Nicole Zanga. Nicole, 3-1 in singles play, 4-0 in doubles play. I'd say that's a pretty good week. You guys had 4 tough, hot, physical days of tennis. How do you feel in this moment right now after this championship?
I'm so happy for myself and for the team. Like, we've been struggling the whole semester, the season, and finally to get this conference win is just unreal. So I'm so happy.
After the season that your team has had, just battling adversity, injuries, all the above, heading into this week, you guys stepped up when it counted most, and now you're headed to the NCAA tournament. What does that mean, just the toughness that your team has now heading into the postseason?
I mean, I think it's just great that we have another opportunity to play tougher teams, and give credit to Tulsa. They're a really strong team in our conference, so I'm just happy we're able to pull that win, so that's good.
All right, Nicole, go celebrate this one with your team. I know they're waiting for you for a picture. Congratulations, Stacey.
Thanks, Haley. It has been an outstanding week for the women this entire week, and from top to bottom, it's not necessarily what we expected in the finals, but boy, we got our money's worth.
Yeah, Stacey, I can't say it's not what I expected. Tulsa is good, but I felt this Cinderella tag yesterday. And when I interviewed, the coaches with you, and he talked about the warrior mentality, and I saw that their doubles was good enough, I thought maybe there's a possibility. So this doesn't surprise me. It still had to be done, and credit to them for getting it done. And Christina Moros having this type of mentality and turn this program around so quickly. But absolutely amazing. Congrats to them, and it's been obviously awesome calling in with you today.
You too. We'll be back tomorrow for USF versus UCF at noon. If you're in the area, come out and join us. We'd love to have you at the USTA National Campus. South Florida beats Tulsa for the first time. They are the American Athletic Conference champion. For Haley Oaten, Mark Bay, and the rest of our crew, I'm Stacey Shefflin, saying so long from Orlando until tomorrow. Thanks for watching.